Setting it up once again. Here it goes to number 20. Dribbling the basketball, that'll be Schroeder. She works the ball to the right side, guarded closely by Cannon. Works the ball for one dribble to another player, and back to the corner it goes, and they'll square the floor here. Trying to penetrate in. She goes in for the shot. It's off the glass. Good. Wasn't a thing of beauty, but it drops. And Addison Smith scores. Here's Oak Ridge wanting to run. Ayanna Porter trapped on the right side, drives the baseline. They give her the baseline. She's going to be called for a travel. She just came to a screeching stop there and turned the ball over. 4-2 our score, 5:18 to play here in this first period. Down the floor with the basketball will come the Powell Lady Panthers. With it will come number 5. That'll be Addison Smith. There's a steal by Oak Ridge. Wildcats, Demetria Strickland didn't have a shot. Waits for her teammates and gives it off to Zayana Stewart. 5:04 to play first quarter. 4-2 our score. Zay to the hole. Goes in for the shot. No good. Just rimmed out. Here comes Powell down the floor. They can tie the ball game with a 2 or take the lead with a 3. Here the Lady Panthers have it outside the line. Cannon picks up a three-point shooter on the right wing. To the top of the circle it goes once again to Smith. Smith works the ball right side of number 10. That's Grayson Wood. Lost the ball. Intercepted Oak Ridge. Layup. Left-handed off the glass. Good. Lady Wildcats score with Demetria Strickland, and Oak Ridge has a 6-2 lead. Down the floor with the basketball with 4.5 minutes to play in the first period. Here come the Lady Panthers of Powell. Oak Ridge trying to sweep the season series with the Lady Panthers. Grayson Wood with it. Harassed out high, gives it out to Addison Smith. Lady Wildcats, Josh getting some transition buckets because of their defense, just getting steals. There's another one. Zayana Stewart's going to come down the floor. I don't know if she'll get a shot off. She's going to spin, pull up at the right elbow, now drive to the right block, and she's going to be fouled on the floor by number 5. Oak Ridge's defense causing all kinds of difficulties.
Absolutely, and that's due to their hustle over here, Dave. They're everywhere. They're wherever the ball's at, double teaming, and they are not letting Powell have any easy shots for sure.
Now here comes the tricky part. We'll see if Ethan Eubanks can do both the camera and the scoreboard at the same time. Will he be able to do that is the question. He's smiling. He's telling me basically, oh yeah, I can do that with ease. Oak Ridge basketball, and it comes to Zayana Stewart at the top of the circle. Deflected pass, gives it out to Ayanna Porter. Ayanna dribbles in, will not shoot. Looks to her left, gives it off to Zay. Cannon's at the top of the circle. They haven't passed the ball to her. She drives along the baseline. There's Jenna, a little 6-footer, floating in good. And the Lady Wildcats lead it by a score of 8-2. 3:49 to play here in the first quarter. Here comes Powell across the line. Here comes a long pass, too long, goes into the Oak Ridge cheerleaders, hits the wall. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball coming back the other way. 3 minutes, 43 seconds to play first quarter, 8-2. Lady Wildcats in the lead. Josh, your thoughts here at the start of this ball game?
So far, low-scoring game. We're already over halfway through the first quarter, but you got to love the hustle and the defense that Oak Ridge is playing. They're getting the easy transition shots, and they shoot. Misses the shot, Demetria Strickland, and now Powell's got the ball back coming the other way.
Across the time stripe, they get the ball across the line with Addison Smith. Senior drives to the free throw line, looks to her right, fires a pass over to White. Anna White that goes inside, and what's the call? They're going to call a block. I think it should have been an offensive player control foul. You've got a very young official working this one. He was very indecisive with his call there, but, you know, obviously it's a hard job to be an official, but he was very indecisive right there.
Right, and indecisiveness breeds judgment on these officials. You got to make your decision and stick with it there.
Powell with the basketball underneath the goal. They have a 3 if they want it. Wildcats in the lead, 8-2, 3:05 to play. With the basketball will come Anna White. Dribbles off to the left, comes off to the right. Fires a pass to the right side for 3. Partially rejected, but knocked down good. 3-point shot drilled home by Elena Schroeder, and Oak Ridge's lead is 3. 8-5 the score. The Lady Wildcats with it to Demetria Strickland. Lindsey Cleveland has entered the game now for Oak Ridge. Back it goes to Zay in the left corner. Trying to get in against the zone. Here's Demetria, nearly stripped of the ball, saved by Jenna. Around the right side to Ayanna Porter. Ayanna scored 25 against them the last time we played them. And Lady Wildcats right now just in a 3-point game. 2:28 to play first quarter. Zayana Stewart with it to Lindsey Cleveland. Lindsey attacks the paint, swings it out, wide open 3. It might have been rushed. It is no good. Jenna tries to save it, does to Powell. Here come the Lady Panthers down the floor. Lady Wildcats trying to strip the ball away. They get a shot off. It's no good. Jenna skies for the rebound, gives it up to Ayanna Porter. 8-5 Oak Ridge, 2:07 to play. Ayana, free throw line, stops. Gives it out to Demetria. Demetria drives right back to Jenna. Jenna drives right elbow around to Ayana. This zone causing Oak Ridge some difficulty. Oak Ridge unable to hit the perimeter shot to this point. Now Jenna attacks inside. Back to the top. Three-pointers on its way. Another strong shot. No good. Rebounded by Powell. Lady Wildcats misfiring on their threes here. 8-5 our score, and down the floor will come the Lady Panthers. Powell with the basketball. Number 5, that'll be Addison Smith. Tried to go inside. Lady Wildcats working hard on defense, just haven't been able to shoot. Here's a high arcing three, and it's going to be no good. Rebounded by Powell, and there's a walk. Travel called against Powell. 1:27 to play first quarter. 8-5 is our score. Cannon Green's going to check into the ball game now. Lady Wildcats got to find some offense here. They've misfired. When you play a zone, you got to shoot out of it, and Lady Wildcats are not getting into that zone and not hitting their outside shots.
Right, but there's one thing I can say about this team is I think they'll be able to get into it. They'll get back in their rhythm, and they should be able to knock some shots down here shortly.
Wildcats working into Zayana. Had Cannon on the right wing. Goes to her. She won't take the shot. Drives the paint and throws the ball away. Pass taken away. Just not strong enough on that pass to get it out to the wing here. They penetrated. What they need to do is they get the ball across the line. Lindsay almost commits a foul there. Minute to play in the first period. With the basketball will come Schroeder. She works it for a three in a tie game. No good. Rebound to Lindsay Cleveland. Lady Wildcat basketball. 51 seconds to play. Pushes it up to Jenna. Jenna to the hole. Right block as the ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Powell Lady Panthers. 46.1 second to play here. 8-5. Lady Wildcats with the ball underneath their goal. Cannon Green will work the ball in. Looks to Jenna. Got to get it in soon. Fires it into Zay. Zay's got a three. Shoots it. Missed it. Lady Wildcats have really struggled. A jump ball. They're going to call an alternate possession arrow to the Powell Lady Panthers on that jump ball. I'm not so sure about the young guy here. It just, that's not a bad call, but I think he didn't really let him kind of fight for the ball there any bit. As here's a steal by Jenna. Jenna's going to go coast to coast with it, go in for the layup, and score. Jenna Johnson hits the bucket, and Oak Ridge is back up by 5. 10-5 with 22 seconds to play. Ethan Eubanks doing camera work. Ben George as well. Josh Frazier's with me. 15 seconds to play. Powell drives in. Can't commit a foul like that. Lady Wildcats let her drive the full length of the floor, and a foul is going to be called against Cannon Green, and that'll be the second team foul. To the free throw line will go the Lady Panthers. 12 seconds to play. Panthers shooting 2. First one is good. 10-6 is our score. Lady Wildcats in the lead. Back to the free throw line. Powell. Second toss. Good. Lady Wildcats with 12 seconds will get the final shot and get the ball hopefully to start the second period. Here's Zay driving in for a shot. She got fouled. Nothing called. Ball is going to be pulled down by Powell as the first quarter comes to a close. We've played one quarter basketball here at Powell High School. Lady Wildcats in the lead by a score of 10-7. And we'll be back to Powell High School following this 60-second timeout. I have my phone. Welcome back once again to Powell High School. Lady Wildcats on top 10-7. Coming out in the second quarter with Cannon Green, along with Demetria Strickland. Bella Boone's in the ball game. Lindsay Cleveland. Lindsay's got it in the corner. drives the baseline, stripped to the ball, slings it left side. Cannon shoots a three. They need it. She nailed it. 3-point shot for Cannon Green, and the Lady Wildcats increased their lead back up to 6. 13-7 the score. Here comes Powell down the floor with the basketball. Lady Panthers with it across the line. Our table, and I don't complain about a lot of things except guys in striped shirts, but this table is absolutely way too small.
Yeah, I feel like this is more suited for the kids' table at a Thanksgiving dinner than for a sports game.
Lady Wildcat basketball here. 13-7 the score. They work at the Jenna right elbow. Driving will come Dimitri along the baseline. Back to Cannon. Hit a three a moment ago. Is going to take a shorter shot this time. She's fouled. Personal foul is going to be called against the Lady Panthers, and Cannon Green will go to the free throw line. Cannon on the season for the Lady Wildcats. Checking her stats here. She is, let's see, a 70% free throw shooter, 9 of 12 on the year. She misfires on that one. This is the side of the district tournament, so the Lady Wildcats and guys better get used to this gym. We'll be here in a little less than a month, actually, playing a lot of games here. As Oak Ridge goes to the free throw line again, second toss up, good. Cannon hits it, and Oak Ridge has a 14-7 lead, and Cannon has scored the last 4 points for the Lady Wildcats. Here comes Powell down the floor, moving right to left here, still in the rear court, trying to work against Oak Ridge's press. They finally get the ball across the line. Jenna bumps number 5 Smith, trapped, and she watches Powell call a timeout. Saved the turnover there. The Wildcats set a trap there, Josh, on the border over there, and she had no place to go. She was about to walk with the basketball, and her coach bailed her out.
Yeah, and that's kind of what the coach is there for sometimes, bail their players out of some tough situations, but it's really been like that all game. Oak Ridge has been making it tough on Powell and getting plenty of extra opportunities other than just the back and forth down the court.
Josh, I know a lot of people are interested in the news that happened today with the Wildcats hiring a new football coach, and Derek Rang. He'll be coming from Lewis County, won a state championship at Dresden High School. I'll be speaking to Coach Gaddis between ball games about the procedure and the hire. And eventually, later in this week, I'll get a chance to talk with Derek Rang, the new coach. And I know a lot of fans are excited about that. We'll come back and talk about that in a moment, Josh. Here's the pass worked in. Powell with the basketball momentarily. Almost a deflection and steal there. They work the ball in. Too much penetration again, and they score. Got to cut off that middle lane there, and it's back to a 5-point game. Powell looking stronger than they did the first time we played them. Oak Ridge not shooting the ball well. Cannon is. And Jenna too, but the Lady Wildcats have missed everything else. As Lindsey Cleveland drives the baseline. Gets an easy shot. Good. Great drive there by Lindsey.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I love about this team is everybody can score on this team at any given point in time. So
here comes another three. It's up good. 3-point shot by Anna White. What I like what they're doing is they're either penetrating the middle or kicking it out. And that's what you do as the Wildcats get Bella Boone to Jenna for a shot. No good. Lady Wildcats in a 4-point game, 16-12 the score. Wildcats don't look crisp. Of course, Jenna and Ayana have not played for a while. There's that middle penetration. They work the ball inside. Jenna blocks it. It's a jump ball, the alternate possession arrow to the Lady Panthers. Good call right there, I think. It'll be Powell basketball. Wildcats are going to substitute Ayana back in. You can tell she's still noticeably limping. Missed the last 2 ball games with an ankle sprain. Jenna and Lindsey Cleveland come out. Dimitri is back in. Zayana Stewart's in, along with Cannon Green and Bella Boone. They work it in. Powell down by 4, 16-12. We're in the second quarter. Here's a nice lob down low. They can't save it. It goes out of bounds. Tried to lob it over the top of Zayana Stewart, and they did. But unfortunately for them, the pass was just a little bit too strong.
Right. They're trying to make something happen just to get any kind of momentum going for the Powell team here, but so far nothing doing.
We're on our YouTube stream. We're on FM 92.7. We're on prepradio.com, Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15. Oak Ridge ball, trying to get through this zone here. Cannon backs up with it, top of the circle. Comes off to the left side, works the ball to Ayana, penetrates the paint, got a screen from Zay, drives in, wanted to give it to Bella, finds Cannon free, wide open three, no good. Rebound tracked down by Ayana Porter. Ayana back to Zayana at the top of the circle. 16-12, Zayana drives, stops, shoots, shot is blocked. Ayana gets it right back, fires a pass, is blocked, saved on the floor, back in rear court. It's going to be deflected. Not an over and back. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball. Struggling a little bit here. 16-12 the score. Ayana dribbles in, penetrates, nice pass into Bella. She's fouled. That's how you attack a zone right there, Josh. You penetrate in, and it draws the defense to you, and Bella was wide open there for the shot and got fouled, and will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, I'll take some free throws any day of the week there, but they're doing a great job down in the paint. First shot is up and missed.
She'll have another one. She was fouled in the act of shooting. Was 2 of 7 from the line on Friday. Had a great game. 12 rebounds, 12 points, but she struggled at the free throw line. She misses those two. Here they come down the floor once again. The Wildcat lead is still 4. 16-12 the score. Struggling here at Powell High School against the Panthers, and that girl just drives in for an easy shot. She missed it, though. Bella's got the rebound. Lady Wildcat defense needs to shore up. Here's Demetria driving in. Turning, spinning, driving. No good. Lady Wildcats can't get anything to fall as Bella just rips the rebound away. It's another jump ball. This time Oak Ridge has possession. Bella's looking strong there on the glass. And just not necessarily really on the glass. She just ripped the ball away from the girl, and Oak Ridge will have it underneath the goal. And it comes to Ayana Porter to Demetria for 3. No good. Lady Wildcats, Cannon Green, though, has the rebound. Cannon for Oak Ridge, dribbles in, penetrates, stops, needs help. Gives it out to Ayana, splits the defense, kicks it out to Demetria again. Demetria goes in. She lost the ball out of bounds, last touch by them. Wildcats not getting much of anything done offensively, struggling here. They're going to substitute, let's see, Demetria out of the game. Jenna Johnson's in for Bella. Oak Ridge now playing, let's see, with the original starting 5 minus Demetria because Lindsay Cleveland's in for her. Here's a near steal by Lindsay and near foul by Lindsay too, but a good play anyway. Here comes the Lady Wildcats getting a steal. Cannon has it, needs to get rid of it. Dribbles the ball down the floor. She's about to get swept to the ball. Gives it out to Zay. Three-pointer, top of the key. Good. Three-point shot for Zayana Stewart. 3:45 to play here in the second quarter. Wildcats need that perimeter game to kind of get a little bit of a lead here.
Yeah, if they can get those threes starting to fall, they can really extend this lead and make it a really tough game for Powell to come back as Oak Ridge steals the ball back and heads down the court. Jenna Johnson up with the layup and scores. Just
a great play on the other end by Lindsay Cleveland, and Powell will call a timeout. 3:21 to play second quarter. 21-12, the Lady Wildcats in the lead. We'll take a break. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett. We'll be back to Powell High School in 30 seconds. David Clary back here along with Josh Frazier, Ethan Eubanks, Ben George, Brian Bennett back in the studios. Lady Wildcats in the lead 21-12, and Wildcats are going to get a steal. Ayana Porter, Oak Ridge's pressure defense causing him trouble, and Jenna's going to shoot and knocks down a shot. Really nice shot there by Jenna Johnson. The Lady Wildcats now, Josh, with their biggest lead, primarily fueled by their defense.
Yeah, and it's been great. They've been stealing opportunities away from Powell all night so far, which is great. The less they have opportunities they have to score, the better it is for Oak Ridge.
23-12 was our score. 2:50 to play second quarter. With the basketball will come Elena Schroeder. Works the ball to her left. In the corner, Oak Ridge guarding the lob and down low. Wildcat defense playing hard. There's a walk. Good. Well, they're going to call a jump. It was good defense, but it should have been a travel. She took an extra step, and there was a held possession there, but I thought I personally would have called a travel.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. It definitely should have been a travel, but we'll see how Oak Ridge responds to the adversity there.
Powell with the basketball, 2:32 to play second quarter, 23-12 the score. With the basketball will come Addison Smith, top of the circle, guarded out high by Cannon Green. Stops, holds it, swings the ball to her right, Powell setting up their offense. We're in the second period, low-scoring game. Oak Ridge in the lead, 23-12. Oak Ridge beat Powell earlier in the year. Powell trying to get some shots off. Oak Ridge's defense is extended a bit as they work the ball out. A deflection and a near steal by Lindsey Cleveland. Ball goes out of bounds. They're going to say it's last touch by Powell. That's a nice call. Could have very easily gone the other way, but it was last touch, they say, by number 4, Krista Madison.
Well, and that's a perfect example of the hustle that this team has. Lindsey Cleveland not giving up on the play, and now Oak Ridge has the ball back, and Powell's lost another opportunity.
23-12 the score. Lady Wildcats in the lead. Cannon with it, top of the circle. There's a double dribble or a travel. Yeah, it was one of the two, and she did it. She couldn't decide whether she wanted to drive in or just put the ball down on the floor, and that indeed is a turnover. 1:55 to play second quarter. 23-12 is our score. Lady Wildcats in the lead. It was much closer after one. Here's another steal by Oak Ridge because of their defense. Ayanna Porter with it, and a holding foul is going to be called against the Lady Panthers. Like I said, between games, I'll be talking to the head coach of the former head coach of the Oak Ridge Wildcats about the new hire for the Oak Ridge football team. We'll hope you'll stay tuned for that. He'll talk about the procedure and what exactly took place in getting the new head coach, whose name is Derek Ring. If you just tuned in, is Zayana Stewart's going to drive in, wanted to shoot, works it out to Lindsey once again. Lindsey Cleveland dribbling off to Ayanna Porter, drive in for the shot. What's the call? It's going to be a personal foul against Powell, and they'll go to the free throw line. They'll be shooting 2. 1:26 to play, second quarter. 23-12 the score. Oak Ridge to the line. What has Ayanna done here tonight? Josh?
Well, it looks like this may actually be her first point of the night so far, but she's really been contributing everywhere else, even if some shots haven't fallen so far for her yet.
24-12 the score. First toss was good. Second toss on its way, also good. She's a 70% free throw shooter. Had a bad ankle. Rolled it in practice a little over a week ago. Missed the last 2 ball games, and it's good to have her and Jenna back. Jenna missed some time too with a bad hand, and you can see it's taped up. Here's another steal by Ayanna. They're going to call a jump. He's too quick with that whistle. He was screened totally on that play. It was actually the trailing official's call there. I mean, there was a held there, but I think she had ripped the ball away, and he was screened. I don't think that's really his call, but he's learning. He's young.
Right, you got to get those reps in at some point, and that's the only way to get better at it. So,
Lindsey Cleveland with the basketball, dribbles the paint, goes in for the shot, missed it. Jenna's got the rebound, kicks the ball back out to Ayanna Porter, who swings it back out to Lindsey. Lindsey shoots a 3, no good. Rebound to Oak Ridge. Ayanna comes down with it, and she's fouled. Personal foul is going to go against number 4 for them. As I look at their boys roster here, somebody almost had a male name about to be called. That is Addison. No, it's Krista Madison. As the Lady Wildcats will work the ball in, leading, and Jenna's going to increase that lead if she can knock this shot down, and she does. Jenna Johnson hit it, and it's a 15-point lead. 27-12 the score. 48 seconds to play in the second period. Lady Wildcat defense fueling their push here in the second quarter, and their Wildcats are about to get another steal. There should have been a travel. Not that one. Really close to a travel, we'll say. Good defense, Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge has extended it out just a bit, and it's causing them all kinds of havoc as the ball is worked out to number 11. That'll be Schroeder. She works the ball top of the circle, back to the top. Not giving up that 3. They're going to drive in, layup, no good. Rebound, jump ball. That kid's the king of jump balls. I'm going to tell you, that's at least the 4th one, and that's a good call. It'll be their basketball. 18 seconds to play. 27-12 the score. I shouldn't call him a kid, but everybody's a kid to me. Just looking around this gym, I think I'm about older than everybody, as they're going to have a backcourt violation as Lady Wildcats almost got it, stolen away, and then they're going to reach in, and it's going to be a foul called by Chris Wheatley down there on the Lady Wildcats. 11.3 seconds. Boy, not a whole lot of time ticked off there. That whole little possession there, but Oak Ridge in the lead, 27-12. That is only the 3rd team foul called. 10 seconds to play. Lindsey harassing number 5, Smith. Don't want to let her drive in. Cannon deflects it. They're maybe not even going to get a shot off. Backs it up, no shot off as the first half comes to a close. So the Lady Wildcats head to the dressing room leading by a score of 27-12. to 12. Let me get Coach Ronnie Scott in here to talk about the junior varsity ball game, if he would. I know he doesn't like doing that, but let me get him to talk about it. We got here, it was 70 to 65. I haven't talked to Ronnie all year, actually. One of the first times I'll get a chance to. I think probably the first time I spoke to Ronnie, he was 15 years old, and he was shooting basketballs for Coach Steve Shipley. But, Coach, let's talk about your JV and the season to this point. I know it's a combination of freshmen and sophomores for the most part. The last couple games, against Central, you've struggled a little bit. But your schedule, you've had a lot of ball games, but you win tonight. Talk about your junior varsity.
Our JV, it's a blended team with freshmen and sophomores. This year, our freshmen don't really have much, don't have much experience for our JV ball, so we're trying to fast forward them to be ready to try to help the varsity next season. Which sometimes you can't have a sophomore to help out with the team, sometimes you can. But with our sophomores, is to progress them to be able to be ready for the next season, and then also to be able to help out possibly this season too.
Yeah, the different philosophies, and our philosophy at Oak Ridge, and I'm sure your philosophy, it isn't all about winning and losing. It's basically just getting them ready.
All about progression. Getting better from the day we start to the end of the season, and for how you come along throughout the season. We always stress to our kids, come to compete every day. Whether it's a game or practice, come to compete every day, every possession.
Let's talk about the varsity real quick. I mean, you lose 6 starters or 6 or 7 players, seniors off of last year's team, all 5 starters, but somehow you're 16-3 right now and tied for first with Weston Carnes. Are you surprised, or did you just think this next group would just step up?
Not really, because like I said, every year we emphasize that the goal is the state tournament, state championship. And we replaced a lot of starters, but the thing is that every guy on the team did their work last year to compete to get better, and they were playing against those 6 guys last year every day in practice. So the thing about it is next man up, like Coach Green says, it's next man up. So the 5 guys that we started this year, it's their turn right now to show what they can do.
My final question is, what do you think about my boy Ethan Eubanks over here as a basketball player and as a technician here for our broadcast?
He's a multi-task guy.
Yeah, he can do it all. Let me tell you, he can do it absolutely all. Tonight's win. What was the key in tonight's win over Powell? The key in the win over Powell tonight.
To defend their offense. They like to do a lot of screens, little slips, and back doors. And the thing is that if we can contain them and not them to get any easy baskets and any second chance baskets, we should be fine.
Coach, I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
I know you don't like doing that, but thank you.
Have to come back.
That's Coach Ronnie Scott. He's assistant coach of the Wildcats. And Josh, let's take a break here, and I'll let you run down the stats here. Lady Wildcats lead at 27-12. We'll be back to Powell High School following this 3-minute timeout.
My name is Josh.
All right, welcome back to the Powell Lady Panther Arena here. My name is Josh Frazier, and I'm going to go over the first half stats for Oak Ridge and for the Powell Lady Panthers. So far for Oak Ridge, I've got Demetria Strickland with 4 points. Zayana Stewart finished the first half with 3 points. Ayana Porter finished with 2 points off some free throws, but outside of that, she's pretty much been everywhere else on the court. Lindsay Cleveland finished the first half with 2 points. Cannon Green with 4 off a 3-point shot and a free throw. And then we've actually got Jenna Johnson with 12 points in the first half, accounting for almost half of Oak Ridge's total 27 points in the first half. Over to the Lady Panther side, we've got Addison Smith with 6 points. Anna White finished the first half with 3 points. And Elena Schroeder finished with 3 points. So the big thing about the Powell Lady Panthers is most of their production so far has come in the first quarter. They had almost 0 production in the second quarter. And a lot of that has to do, and I'm sure David would agree with me, with the defense of Oak Ridge. They have just been all over these Lady Panthers, and no shot has been easy. They've taken opportunity after opportunity away from the Lady Panthers and turned it into points, or at least taken some time off the clock. So Powell just hasn't had an opportunity to come back or get a rhythm or even make this a game in the first half. With Oak Ridge being up 27-12, it's just been all one-sided, especially from the second quarter going on. And David, I'm sure you'd probably agree with me on that. Oak Ridge just out-hustling and out-playing Powell all night so far.
Yeah, most definitely, especially in the second quarter. The defense, especially that press, got turnover after turnover after turnover. Wildcats in the first quarter weren't able to really get in against that zone and were missing shots. They were getting some turnovers, but they were missing shots. That wasn't the case in the second quarter. It was all fueled by the defense.
Yeah, absolutely. That second quarter was something else, and that's the thing. If you're trying to get into a rhythm, which is what Oak Ridge was trying to do in the first quarter, the more opportunities you have, the easier it is to get into a rhythm, and it came at the expense of the Lady Panthers even having a shot to make this a game so far.
Hey, Josh, we need to take another break here. We're at halftime. The Lady Wildcats on top, 27-12. My name is David Clary, along with Josh Frazier, Ethan Eubanks, Brian Bennett back in the studios, Ben George doing camera work for us. Lady Wildcats on top, 27-12, and we'll be back to Powell High School following this 60-second timeout. Welcome back once again to Powell High School. Second half about to get set here. Lady Wildcats and Lady Panthers. And it'll be Oak Ridge basketball, Ethan, as we're about to get underway here. Kenny Green will work the ball in to Demetria Strickland. Ayana Porter's here as well on the floor. Jenna Johnson, Zayana Stewart. That's the starting five for Lady Wildcats. They lead Powell 27-12. And Oak Ridge basketball, Ayana Porter with it out to Jenna, around to Demetria Strickland. Strickland works the ball to Green. Back it goes to Jenna Johnson. Around to the top it goes to Porter. Lady Wildcats by 15. Cannon dribbles in, no place to go. Finds Jenna free, no place. Gives it back out to Zay. Zayana with her back to the goal. Wanted to shoot, goes in for the shot. No good. They call an offensive player control foul, and you can guess who did it. That's not a good call. He's a youngster, and he says to Coach Taylor that Zayana used her shoulder to go into it. Well, anyway, 27-12 the score. Here comes Powell down the floor. Lady Wildcat defense fueled their offense in the second quarter. Here's a long three by Powell. It's up good. Lady Wildcats watch them hit it with Anna White, and here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. Wildcats have it to Jenna Johnson on the baseline. Kicks it out. Ayana for three. On its way, way strong. Like I said, though, she hadn't practiced in almost 2 weeks now, so her shot's bound to be a little bit off. Lady Wildcats back on defense here, leading 27-15. Lady Wildcats led. It was close early as they get a shot off, no good. Rebound to Ayana. Saved by Cannon to Zayana Stewart. Lady Wildcats running. Zayana right elbow, pulls up and shoots from there. It's up, hits the rim, no good. Rebound out of bounds. Last touch, they say, by Oak Ridge. I can tell you, we're not going to get many calls here. It'll be Powell with the basketball. Although I do know one of the officials pretty well, and he hasn't really been the guy calling anything, is Powell has it in the rear court. 27-15 the score. Lady Panthers hit a three to make it closer. They have the basketball. Oak Ridge trying to win their 10th game in a row. Remember, between games, I'll be speaking to Joe Gaddis, athletic director at Oak Ridge High School, about today's hire of Derek Rang, as that shot is blocked out of bounds by Jenna Johnson. We didn't get a chance to talk about that. But Derek Rang has been hired as the new head coach of the Wildcats. We'll get him on the air next week as Oak Ridge is going to commit another foul here. Josh, I don't know, you played high school football down in Texas. Did you have to go through any coaching changes while you were there?
So actually, going into my senior year, we did have to go through a coaching change, and I can tell you right now, after having the same coaches for 4 years, by the way, the first shot for the Lady Panthers on that free throw is up, and it's a miss. It was definitely quite a change, but, those have been my coaches since our freshman year of high school, so.
Second shot is good, and the Lady Wildcat lead is cut to 11. It was 15 at halftime. 27-16 the score. Lady Wildcats back on offense. Ayana Porter with it. Top of the circle. Finds Cannon free. Back to Dimitri. Had Jenna early. Jenna had the ball ripped out of her hands. Saved on the floor back by Demetria Strickland. Left side to Ayana Porter. Lady Wildcats trying to get their perimeter game going. They struggled with it. Here's Demetria. Should have a layup. Oh, should have shot it. She had a layup there. I think if she shot it. She saw Jenna come flashing in as Demetria now shoots a three. It's up. No good. Rebound to the Lady Panthers. Powell lost the ball then. Ayana steals it, holds it, shoots it, missed it. Rebounded by the Lady Panthers. Wildcats in a little bit of a struggle here. And that's the way they started the first quarter here. Kind of similar to this. Kind of not shooting the ball well. Powell launches a three. It's good. They've knocked down some shots here, and Powell calls a timeout. Just like that, Oak Ridge's lead is cut. It's 27-19. Timeout asked for by the Lady Panthers. We'll take a break. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett. We'll be back to Powell High School in 60 seconds. Welcome back once again to Powell High School. Lady Wildcats in the lead 27-19. Oak Ridge has yet to score here in the first 2.5 minutes or so of the second half. 27-19 is our score. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball coming down the floor. Lady Wildcats have Cannon Green in the ball game, Demetria Strickland playing, Lindsey Cleveland, along with Ayana Porter and Zayana Stewart. Oak Ridge basketball. Lady Wildcats fueled their offense with their defense in the second quarter to build up the 15-point lead. Have yet to score in the first 3 minutes of this one. Oak Ridge ball, Lindsey Cleveland with it. Dribbles in, penetrates the paint, goes in for the shot. Missed it. On the rebound will come the Lady Panthers. So, a little slow start here, Josh, to the Lady Wildcats, for the Lady Wildcats here. As they work the ball down the floor, they've knocked down some big threes and some good penetration here. There's another three on its way. No good. Rebound, Lindsey Cleveland. Smallest player on the floor, one of the smallest, pulls down the board. She does a lot of that. Here comes Oak Ridge with it. Zayana Stewart attacks inside, all the way to the hole. Missed it. Rebound by Ayana Porter. Ayana gives it right back to Zay. Zay wanted to attack back inside. Comes out to Cannon. Cannon Green to Lindsey Cleveland. Lady Wildcats on top 27-19. Lindsey Cleveland. High bounce. Back to Cannon it goes. Cannon on the right wing. Works the ball top to Ayana Porter. Attacks the paint. Goes in for the layup. Block. Oh, they call a foul. I guess it looked like a clean block, but what the official, I think, said, I think he said was it hit her in the face. Her hand came back and slapped her in the face. I think that's what that hand signal means. I've never seen that, actually.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of. I can't say that the Lady Panther was in absolute shock as Ayana gets the first shot up and in. But that was quite a call, David.
Yeah, it went our way, so the Oak Ridge back to the line. Second toss in a moment. 28-19, Lady Wildcats by 9, 4:12 to play. Second toss, good. Porter hits it, and here comes the Lady Panthers moving left to right here in the second quarter. Remember, between games, I'll be speaking to Coach Joe Gaddis about the new hire of Derek Rang as the head coach of the Wildcats. They drive down the floor, get a shot off, no good. Shot is up, no good on the rebound, but a foul is going to be called, I think, against either Bella or Cannon Green. It's going to go against Bella, that is. That'll be her first, maybe second foul. It is the third team foul, her first foul. To the free throw line for Powell will go Reese Rowland. Senior player, misfires on the first free throw. Hope everybody will join us on Channel 12 tomorrow at 7 o'clock when we have the Off the Glass show featuring the head coaches of the Wildcats. Second toss, good. Back to a 9-point game. Lady Wildcats in the lead, 29-20. 3:58 to play, third quarter. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. Ayana Porter with it to Cannon Green. She shoots a three, no good. Bella had the rebound, saves it into Lindsey Cleveland. Good save there by Bella. Oak Ridge ball. Lindsey with it back to Cannon. Cannon at the free throw line, backs up once again. Finds Ayana free to the left side, Zayana Stewart. Zayana turns, spins, wanted to shoot, almost picked up her pivot foot, did not. Good defense by Powell. Powell's come alive here defensively here in the second half. The Lady Wildcats having difficulty just getting any kind of shot off, any decent shot anyway. As they got a screen for Bella, she lost the handle of the dribble, might have gone all the way in for a layup. Back to Cleveland it goes. Lindsey shoots a three. Good! 3-point shot for Lindsey Cleveland, her second of the year, and Oak Ridge has a 12-point lead once again. Lady Wildcats very patient there and finally got the shot to fall.
Yeah, patience is a virtue, and it worked out right there for Lindsey Cleveland. Let's hope they can keep it up from here.
Powell with the basketball, 32-20. Lady Wildcats in the lead. Powell with it, left side, left wing. Their court spacing looks kind of odd right now. They've got two players in a very close proximity. Now they reset the floor here. And then that should be an offensive player control foul. It's going to be a foul, I think, against Zayana. They might have called that a flop on Zayana. She definitely acted a bit. She went flying pretty far, actually, and they called the foul on her.
She definitely did fly a little far, but A for effort, I guess you could say, right?
32-20 the score. Lady Wildcats in the lead. For Zay, I believe that was her second foul. Nearly a foul there on Cannon. Here's a steal by Oak Ridge. Ayana Porter left-handed off the glass. Good. Ayana scores with her left hand, and Oak Ridge is back up by 14. 34-20 the score. Lady Wildcats putting on the press. Here come the Lady Panthers with the basketball. Number 11 with it, Anna White. Oak Ridge is the only. Here's another steal. Oak Ridge gets a layup, and the ball is kicked out of bounds. Last touch, they say, by Powell. really good defense. All of a sudden, that press causing them some difficulty again.
Yeah, they're getting back to hopefully their defensive ways the rest of this half to get some more opportunities and make it tough on Powell.
Oak Ridge basketball. Here comes Jenna Johnson with it. Back to Ayana. Splits the defense. Fires a pass, intending it, I think, for Bella. And it's taken away and intercepted by the Lady Panthers. 2:04 to play third quarter, a 14-point lead. The Lady Wildcats can eliminate Powell today from any chance of winning the district championship and make it really just a three-team race here with Lady Wildcats with an opportunity on Friday. If they can win this game and win again on Friday against West, which they should. West has struggled all year, then they would have an automatic bid to the region tournament and a bye at the district tournament. That's where you want to be. 34-22 the score, 1:33 to play third quarter. Here's the lob into Bella. Bella gets the shot up, good, and she's fouled. It wasn't really the best pass in the world, to be honest with you. Bella just wanted the ball, ripped it away, and got the shot off. Really nice play by Boone.
Right, and that's what Oak Ridge has been doing pretty much all night. They've been fighting for the ball. They've been hustling every single play, whether things have gone their way or not. Bella Boone shoots a shot, misses, but great hustle play.
Bella's 0 for 3 at the free throw line, so I guess maybe a little bit more work on that part of her game. Every part of her rest of her game has been really clicking for the Lady Wildcats the last few games. Missed shot, there's another rebound for Bella. She had 12 on Friday. Here comes Lindsey Cleveland going coast to coast with the ball. Could not go all the way in, now stops, gives it over to Jenna. Jenna, she had the Wildcats' Ayana Porter cutting inside, but the pass unfortunately didn't go to her. It was intended out high to Cannon and is way too high. And with a 14-point lead, the Lady Wildcats turned the ball over.
Well, luckily so far they've got a pretty good lead, and I think if they keep up this pace and they get some more turnovers, they can keep this lead or extend it.
Foul's going to be called against Cannon Green. She gave up a bucket and perhaps a three-point play here. 59.8 seconds to play, third quarter, 36-24, a 12-point lead for the Lady Wildcats. But Powell hanging tough here, and they'll go to the line with Reese Rowland. Another senior player, she knocks it down. Lady Wildcat lead is back to 11, 36-25, under a minute to play here in the third period. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. Demetria Strickland with it, out to the top of the circle to Cannon. Cannon cannot dribble all the way in. Backs it over to Oak Ridge's Demetria Strickland to Ayana from the free throw line. No good. Ball's ripped out by Bella. Shot no good. Rebound. Jump ball is called. And the alternate possession arrow to Powell. Wildcats playing a little bit more physical, I think, than the Lady Panthers.
Yeah, there's definitely some physicality. I heard some oohs out of the crowd over there. But that's what happens sometimes, Dave.
That's sports. 36-25, an 11-point game. Lady Wildcats led by 15 at the half. There's a shot by Powell, no good. Rebounded by Lindsey Cleveland. Lady Wildcats down the floor, leading with 20 seconds to play. Here's Demetria Strickland waiting for her teammates to set up. 36-25 Oak Ridge. Here comes Cannon attacking the zone inside to Demetria. 10 seconds. Left side, Lindsey Cleveland, her second three of the night. Good! Lindsey Cleveland has 2 3-pointers in this ball game, and the Lady Wildcats head to the fourth and final quarter, leading 39-25. It's David Clary along with Josh Frazier, Ethan Eubanks, along with Brian Bennett and Ben George. 39-25 Lady Wildcats. We'll be back to Powell in 60 seconds. We are back here at Powell High School, fourth and final quarter here, 39-25. Josh Frazier, the Lady Wildcats closed out the last part of the third quarter pretty strong, primarily fueled by a couple of threes by Lindsay Cleveland.
Absolutely. Lindsay Cleveland is hot. Jenna Johnson just scored a 2 off a layup. But Cleveland has really come in hot in the second half and tearing it up from the three-point line.
Lady Wildcats now have their biggest lead. It's up to 16 now, as there's a block shot by Bella Boone. Didn't really have to do anything but put her hand up. Oak Ridge runs the floor with Jenna, drives in for the shot, no good. Got a little bit too far under the goal there and missed it. Here comes the Lady Panthers with a shot, good. Count it, and she's fouled. Lady Wildcats saw them have a snowbird down the floor there as the Lady Wildcats try to win their 10th consecutive game. Lady Wildcats have not lost since that Thomas Dale, Virginia ball game at the Greenville tournament, the Andrew Johnson Bank Ladies Classic, and that was 9 games ago. Lady Wildcats trying to win their 10th straight. Three-point play complete there by Powell, and here they come down the floor once again. Well, I lost my roster again there, Josh. This table is just too small. I got it. I'm just complaining about. As Oak Ridge gets Lindsay Cleveland, a shot no good. Bella gets the rebound, the putback shot, it's up, good. Lady Wildcats back by 15, 43-28, trying to sweep the season series with the Lady Panthers of Powell. These last 2 years, Josh, and I know you weren't around here, but the last 2 years we have played Powell in the district championship ball game. They had some scores. Their last name were Trum, where both sisters set the state record for three-point shots made. As they missed a shot, they've graduated, thank goodness. And then they've graduated, thank goodness, and Powell just kind of dealing with graduation and not having that dominant player. But the last 2 years, we've actually split with them during the regular season, each team winning on their home floor. This Powell team's not bad, but not nearly as good as the ones we've seen, and you wouldn't know that, but it's still a great rivalry.
Oh, definitely. There's one thing I've learned in basketball and in football, that the Powell-Oak Ridge rivalry is definitely something to be watched, and it's on a whole nother level. But I will say I got to give credit to these Lady Wildcats. I commentated on a couple of games early in the season, and they were struggling, but they've really turned it around here lately. Yeah,
going for 10 straight wins. Who would have thought that early on? 43-28, a 15-point game. Of course, they've always had the talent, but what I've said all along, and you didn't get to see her play, we had a senior on the team. We had several good seniors on the team last year. As they launch another three and hit it, three-point shot by Addison Smith, and they just stay in the ball game with their threes. But the loss of Gracie Heron, Lauren Hart, along with Samaj Clark has been huge as Bella gets a bucket off the glass. But I think the loss of Samaj was probably the biggest. She's one of those senior players when you needed a bucket and a big play, she made it. And it took them a while to find that person on this team as the ball's knocked out of bounds. And every team has one of those guys, or ladies, obviously, in this case. You got to have that player that the other players can look to, because we were all freshmen last year. These girls that you're seeing down there right now were our starters last year, but they had a senior there who calmed the ship every single game.
Yeah, I've heard that called the spark. You've got to have a spark when things are tough and you're having trouble sinking some shots. A quick 1 or 2 buckets like Ayana got earlier can turn the game around for a team.
Powell gets a shot off, no good. Cannon had the rebound, and she's fouled. 5:16 to play in the ball game. You know, I don't give Ethan Eubanks enough credit. He is doing camera, scoreboard, keeping the time going here. And he played the basketball game earlier today, too. So that's why I was trying to get Coach Scott to just put a heavy praise on him, so I'll do it myself. Can't get him even to blush over there. He's just kind of doing his job. Here comes Oak Ridge with it. Down the right side it goes. Three-pointer, Demetria Strickland. Good. It's a 2. 2-point by Demetria. And Oak Ridge's lead is back to 16, 47-31. As I mentioned, between games, I'll speak to Coach Gaddis. We're going to talk about the hire of the new football coach. And that football coach, his name is Derek Rang. You might have heard that. We've put that out on social media. And Coach Gaddis is going to talk about what, the procedure that took place to get him. And hopefully, let me ask, hopefully Brian's listening to us. Hopefully your mic's working, functioning here. So Coach Coach Gaddis can speak freely. Why don't you talk a little bit, and we'll let Brian text me and tell me if that mic's sounding good.
Well, first of all, the shot is up and good for the Lady Panthers, but as far as the new hire, I like it. I've seen his resume, 18 winning seasons, and ultimately you can't argue with winning. Everywhere he goes, he wins, so we really just have to wait and see, and hopefully he can continue his winning ways at Oak Ridge.
And a state championship to his credit, too. Brian says your mic is good, so we're all good. Ball is thrown out of bounds. Wildcats turn the ball over. Down to 4:42 to play in the ball game. 47-32, a 15-point lead for the Lady Wildcats. Powell coming down the floor, moving left to right here. They lob the ball across the line, and nearly a foul there by Jenna. Here's a steal anyway by Zay. Powell fans didn't like it. Zay's going to go coast to coast, get a shot up, good, count it, and she's fouled. You could hear some fans up here in the upper level here at Powell who were not happy. They thought there was a lot of contact. Just a basketball play, it looked like to me, but obviously we're biased, and Zay has an opportunity for a three-point play.
Yeah, that was definitely not expected coming out from behind us, the loud screams on that one, but ultimately a call's a call. Zayana shoots it up, makes the free throw, and now the Lady Panthers have the ball trying to score something on the other end.
There's a little kickball right here. They're going to reset with 4:17 to play. Oak Ridge with their biggest lead now. It's up to 18 points at 50-32. 4:16 to play here in the ballgame. Powell basketball, and it comes from number 5, Addison Smith. Stay tuned, as I mentioned, between games here. I'll speak to Coach Gaddis, and we'll speak to Coach Taylor as well, and we'll run down the stats at some point. But I want everybody to hear what Coach Gaddis has to say as they knock down another three. Three-point shot by White. And that cuts the gap to 15, and once again, Powell calls a timeout. Only people calling timeouts are Powell, and they're down 15. 50-35 our score. We'll take a break. We'll be back to Powell High School in 30 seconds. (50-35), the Wildcats have the lead. 4:03 to play. I don't know if you've kept up with their three-point shots, but that's what's kept them in the ballgame. Powell.
Yeah, and it's all coming from Anna White. Right now she's got 12 points off 4 three-point shots. Addison Smith has a three-pointer, and Elena Schroeder has a three-pointer, and that's 18 points right there off three players for the Lady Panthers.
Wildcats in the lead by 15 with the basketball, leading 50-35. 3:54 to play. Sayana Stewart with the basketball. She dribbles the paint, gives it off to Demetria Strickland. Demetria dribbles right, kicks the ball to Jenna. Jenna drives in, throws up a shot. Man, a lot of contact. Gets her own rebound. Good. That was a great rebound there by Jenna Johnson. She missed the shot initially. It came strong back on the rim, and she just threw it right back up in and in.
Yeah, I've seen that from a couple of great NBA players, too. That's just an amazing shot. Great hustle play like they've been doing all night to get her own rebound and make sure they get some points on the board.
Well, guess who's shooting another three and knocking another one down? That is Anna White. Her fourth now, I believe you said?
That's her
fifth three. Back to a 14-point game. Zayana Stewart with the basketball. 3:10 to play. 52-38. Oak Ridge backdoor play to Demetria Strickland. No good. Bella gets the rebound. Good. Bella Boom with a putback shot. Bella coming off of a 12-point, 12-rebound ball game the other day as the Lady Panthers bring the ball down the floor against Oak Ridge's press. They're going to turn the ball over for a second, saved by number 24. I think I would guard number 11 wherever she might be because she's the one knocking down the shots. And she's in the corner by herself, but here's a steal by Jenna. 55-38, Jenna Johnson, left-handed off the glass, good. And knocked down hard and bumped her knee on the floor. A brutal foul there. Let's hope Jenna's okay. We're going to take a quick time out here. We're live here at Powell High School, 57-38 the score. We'll send it off to Brian Bennett. We'll be back to Powell following this 2-minute timeout. Back here on our YouTube stream here, we'll join the radio in a moment. Lindsay Cleveland is going to take the spot of Jenna at the free throw line, and she knocks down the shot and gets a point. So comes into the ball game. Didn't have to suffer the pain that Jenna did on that foul. It was a hard foul. What I think happened, and I don't like to speculate, it looked like to me, it didn't look like, I know it was obviously to one of her knees, but I think it was that she hit the floor hard with her kneecap, which is very painful because she kind of hobbled off on her own power here. She's not leaving. She's still in a lot of pain, but she's being attended to there by Brian Leffler, our trainer.
Yeah, and these hardwood basketball courts are not forgiving at all whatsoever. It doesn't matter who you are. These floors don't discriminate, and they hurt when you hit them, especially when you hit your kneecap or something like that on them.
Oak Ridge by 20. By 21 now, 58-38 is our score. Demetria Strickland back to the line. Lady Wildcats headed for their 10th consecutive win, and they'll eliminate Powell tonight from any chance of winning the district championship. Lady Wildcats 1 game ahead of Karns, still undefeated in district play. Karns and Campbell County still have an opportunity, but I believe Powell will be eliminated today with a head-to-head play. The tiebreaker will go to Oak Ridge, and any ties, so they'll be eliminated. 59-38 the score. Toss is up, good. Both Oak Ridge teams are in first place. Down the floor with the basketball will come Powell. Lady Panther basketball, number 5, Addison Smith with it. Will dribble the ball to the midcourt line. 2:08 to play in the ball game. 60-38 our score. Powell basketball. They're looking to lob it down low. They work the ball out. Wildcats still playing hard defensively. Playing with Demetria Strickland, Lindsay Cleveland, Cannon Green, Bella Boone, and Kaylee Hickman, as they're going to call a blocking foul, I believe, against Lindsay Cleveland. And you can hear the dismay of the Oak Ridge fans here. I don't know either way, honestly. I'm not going to argue with it. Minute 53 to play in the ball game. 9th team foul called against Oak Ridge. To the line will go Addison Smith. Her free throw is good. 60-39, Oak Ridge by 21 points. A minute 53 to play in the ball game. Remember, I'm going to be talking to Coach Gaddis here in a bit about the new basketball hire. We'll talk to Coach Taylor. We'll add the stats. Free throw missed. 60-39. Here come the Lady Wildcats down the floor. Moving right to left with the basketball. Here's Demetria Strickland. Driving out to the top to Lindsay Cleveland, who drives all the way in for the shot. No good. Bella gets the rebound. Good. Lindsay takes a nasty tumble. Kaylee Hickman's in the ball game now for the Lady Wildcats. Minute 30 to play in the game, 62-39. So the Lady Wildcats are going to sweep the season series against the Powell Panthers. The boys will be trying to do the same. The Oak Ridge boys junior varsity won their ball game today, 70-65. And what do you know? Number 11, Anna White's human. She just missed a three-point shot there.
Yeah, let's hope that hot streak from the three-point line has suddenly become a cold streak, and there's no more threes from number 11 for the Lady Panthers.
Oak Ridge basketball. Lindsey Cleveland with it. 58 seconds to play in the ball game. 62-39. Bella with the basketball. It might have been a kickball. He's trying to grab her. And, you're down 62-39. You are not going to catch up. 50 seconds to play. You grab hold of a girl. That's a way to get somebody hurt. You're not going to win this ball game. I mean, you're not. That strategy, I don't know. John Fisher is the head coach of the Powell Panthers, but you don't foul there. I know there's a dislike between Oak Ridge and Powell, but that's just a cheap foul, to be honest with you. There's no need for it.
Yeah, at this point, with the score being, the difference being so big in the score, it's really just best to let the clock run out.
Because it's a 24-point game right now, 63-39, and that one foul is not going to get them 24 points right back. With the basketball will come the Lady Panthers, number 5. Here's a shot off the glass. That's a brick, no good. Rebounded out of bounds, last touch by Cannon Green. 32.9 seconds to play, 63-39 the score. So Powell's season is going to continue to go spiraling downward. They have double-digit losses on the year, which is very rare for Powell. And their Powell program, girls team, is always competitive. But graduation has taken their toll, and they still have 4 seniors on this team and a roster of only 9 players. 23.5 seconds to play. So a rare off year for the Lady Panthers, but we'll take it as Oak Ridge is about to win. Here they come out again. Oak Ridge is trying to run the clock off. Now Powell's going to stay back, and I think they have said just don't foul. No need to foul. 6 seconds, although they're still defending. We're not going to shoot, Mr. Powell Panther, as the game has come to a close. Final score of the ball game, Oak Ridge wins it 63-39. So congratulations to the Lady Wildcats. They have won their 10th consecutive game, and they are still undefeated in district play. Josh, your thoughts on the game while we wait for Coach Gaddis to join us?
Well, in the first quarter, it was a tough first quarter for both teams. Nobody could really get into a rhythm, get some shots to fall down. But in the second half, it seemed like Oak Ridge's defense took over, took a bunch of opportunities away from the Powell Panthers to turn this game around or even keep within striking distance. But overall, even after some magical three-point shooting from Anna White for the Panthers, Oak Ridge just kept fighting, kept hustling, and they won the game.
Thanks a lot, Josh. Let me get Coach Gaddis in here real quick. Talk about the big news in Oak Ridge. Coach, 48 years of coaching yourself, and you've been involved now in the last month or so in a coaching search to replace Coach Scott Cummings. And if you would, talk about the procedure and talk about the guy you hired in Derek Rang.
Okay, well, first of all, the procedure has been it's gone on a little over a month now. I reached out to a lot of coaches during the search, as I was asked to do. Had a lot of coaches apply online, had a lot of coaches send resumes over the last month, and we looked through everything and decided to interview just a few once we had narrowed things down as a committee. And ultimately, we came up with Coach Derek Rang, a guy that I had heard of but had never met until recently. In fact, a week ago this time I had never met him. But he certainly rose to the top of a pretty strong group of applicants that we had.
What were the qualifications, or what were you looking for in the new coach?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that you look for in a new coach. Obviously at Oak Ridge, you want a winner, and he fits that bill for sure. I'll just expand on that for a minute. I think he learned how to win at Maryville High School when they won 3 consecutive state championships his sophomore, junior, and senior year under George Quarles. And Coach Quarles, when I spoke with him about Coach Rang, he raved about how tough he was, how mentally tough he was. He knows about his football coaching, although he never coached with him. But Coach Quarles gave him a ringing endorsement for sure, as did Derek Hunt, who played at Maryville after Coach Rang played. They've never coached together, but again, spoke of him very highly. You know, his first head coaching job was right here at Powell High School, and I have to mention this because 2 guys that I don't really know came up to me tonight when I got here and said they were on Coach Rang's staff in 2012, and they described him as a driven football genius, were their words. They said he's just a guy that is a workaholic, pays close attention to detail, and their feelings are that we couldn't have found a better coach than Coach Rang. So I didn't expect to hear that necessarily when you come to a basketball game, but I didn't know that any part of his former staff would still be here, but they love the guy, and they know Oak Ridge is going to do well with him at the helm. So I'm excited about that. He's just hearing that tonight kind of reinforces what we already thought we knew about him. From Powell High School, he went to Dresden High School in West Tennessee, won a state championship. Powell, backing up, he was 12-2. At Dresden, he was 32-8 over 3 years, including the championship. Went to Gatlinburg-Pittman, was 31-17 in 4 years. Went to Jackson Prep for a year, then ended up at Lewis County this past season was 11-2. So overall, his record's 86-29. And like I said, he's a proven winner. He wins. He's won at the 5A level. He's won at the 3A level. He's won at the 1A level. He's won at the 2A level. So in that respect, he checks all the boxes for Oak Ridge. He's an intense guy. He's got a good personality. I think he's going to fit in really well at Oak Ridge, and I'm just excited to have him and looking forward to him getting to work.
When will he be coming to Oak Ridge?
Well, it's strange. Since he got there at Lewis County, they've changed principals and superintendents, so he didn't know the people he was fixing to ask about when he could get away. But in talking to him today, I think he's going to get away sooner than later. So I would guess just maybe the next couple of weeks he might be starting to work here. He'll be here Thursday evening with you, as a matter of fact, and then he'll be with us all day Friday. He'll meet the team Friday night. He'll meet the team Friday afternoon after school, and then he'll be at the basketball game against West Friday night in our home arena.
Coach, put something to rest here. You never even entertained the thought of coming back as the coach. I get asked that all the time, and I'm going to ask you right here on the air.
No, that was never even a remote possibility. I'm not interested in it. I love my job, and I coached for 48 years. I've told people this for now over a year. I love what I'm doing. Never even considered coming back and coaching. I would not have done it if asked, and certainly didn't ask anybody if I could. After coaching for 48 years, it's a welcome breath of fresh air to do something completely different. So I love the job, and I love the search we just conducted, and I think we came up with the guy that needs to be the head coach at Oak Ridge High School.
Coach, I appreciate your time, and I'm sure we'll talk again.
Thank you.
That is Coach Joe Gaddis, athletic director at Oak Ridge High School. Let me get Paige in here first, and we'll get her an opportunity to talk about the win today. Lady Wildcats win the ball game. And Ben, if you want to reset the scoreboard there, well, let me get Coach Taylor in. Coach, it's a busy sports day, so I had to get Coach Gaddis in here to talk about football. But let's talk about basketball. This Powell team's not bad. I mean, they got some weapons out there. I thought the first quarter you struggled against that zone and to attack it, and you didn't knock down some shots. I thought you knocked out the second quarter was defense. I mean, you got transition buckets. Your press was effective. You were getting buckets, and you were making shots. You were penetrating and finding the wide open player.
Right.
Third quarter looked like the first quarter, honestly. But then the fourth quarter kind of resembled the second quarter, and you finished strong and win by over 20.
Yeah, it was a little bit frustrating. We did a lot of standing and half-court offense in the first quarter and the third quarter. We didn't move the ball very well. We didn't move without the ball very well either. Something that we've got to obviously work on. But I felt like our defense stepped up when it needed to. I don't like the fact that 11 got five. She hit 5 threes. Like we talked about before the game, guarding three-point shooters. A point of emphasis. And we didn't do it. So that's something again we got to work on it.
And you win the ball game. It's your 10th straight win, and you continue to lead the district. So you got 3 more district ball games to go. Destiny's in your hands.
Yeah, it's one game at a time, and we got to. We can't look ahead. We can't assume anything. I mean, we're always going to get everybody's best every night, and we've got to give everybody our best every night. And we can't have a quarter here and a quarter there. We've got to put together 4 quarters. It's a great win against Powell. This is where we're going to be playing the district tournament. Good to get in here and get a feel for it this time of the year. But we got to be focused on the 3 down the stretch.
Kind of curious about Jenna. What's the situation with her?
She went down on her knee on the floor. I'm not sure. I don't know.
It looked to me like she just slammed her kneecap on the.
That's what I felt like. She doesn't have a lot of, as we would say, meat on her bones, you know. So
right.
She's very bony down there, so I could see, you know, hopefully that's what it is. She just went down hard on her knee.
Coach, any final comments about the win tonight?
Proud of our girls. There were times when there was a lull and we didn't give I don't feel like our best effort, but I feel like, when we had to, we worked hard. And there were a lot of good things about our press, a lot of good things about half-court defense. We boxed out really well. There were times where we held box outs for a really long time. We pushed in transition when we needed to. So a lot of things we got to, again, work on. But this team is, we're still getting better, and we're going to focus on that and move forward.
Coach, thanks a lot. Sorry about the delay there, but thanks for coming. We're going to take let's get Josh in here to read the stats and turn that camera off of me, Ben George. Nobody wants to see that ugly mug. Let's get Josh here to read the stats.
All right, what a game for the Lady Wildcats, finishing over Powell 63-39. We've got Demetria Strickland, who finished with 10. Zayana Stewart finished with 6 points. Ayana Porter finished with 6. Lindsay Cleveland finished with 9, to include 2 3-point shots that she made. Cannon Green finished with 4. Bella Boone finished with 10. And Jenna Johnson, even though she went out with a possible knee injury, finished with 18 on the night. For the Lady Panthers, we have Krista Madison, who finished with 7 points. Addison Smith, who finished with 11. Anna White, who seemed to not be able to miss from the 3-point line, finished with 15 points. We have Elena Schroeder, who finished with 3 points, and Reese Rowland, who finished with 4. So a valiant effort on Powell's part, but Oak Ridge was just too much for the Lady Panthers to handle tonight, as they finished 63-39, eliminating Powell from district championship contention.
Why don't you start talking about the boys' game coming up here? We'll get that taken care of here. Our table is so small. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. The boys Wildcats find themselves in a 3-way tie for first place in the District 3 standings with 4 games to be played. Powell tonight, and then 3 more big ones after that. Oak Ridge will host West on Friday in what has become a huge game for the Wildcats. And then next week they'll play Karnes and Campbell County. The Wildcats control their own destiny. If they win all 4, they win the district and earn the bye in the district tournament and the automatic berth into the region. Powell isn't in such a good place. Powell will be eliminated from any chance to win the district with a loss tonight. Like their girls, Powell has struggled this season due to graduation and other key players deciding not to play. Their 6 wins have come against Anderson County, Jefferson County twice, Gibbs, Clinton, and Central. Powell has not had a winning season since the 17-18 season, when they went 22-12 and advanced to the state tournament. They beat Oak Ridge that season in the district championship game. Powell lost their last game 80-66 to West on Friday. Powell's 3-5 at home this year, while the Wildcats are 4-3 on the road and a perfect 8-0 at the Wildcat Arena. Powell's last win over Oak Ridge came in that 2018 district championship game. The Wildcats have won 9 straight over Powell since then. The Wildcats lead the series 63-16 since the first game back in 1947. Oak Ridge beat Powell in Oak Ridge on December 6th, 67-53, led by Brennan Scott with 21 points that night, followed by Lucas Hammond's 14. Oak Ridge only led by 1 at the half, 30-29, but blew out the Panthers 20-10 in the third quarter to secure the win. Oak Ridge's next game is on Friday at home against West. The Wildcats must win the game to avoid the Rebels having the tiebreaker on them. Oak Ridge lost to West 59-57 on January 10th. Oak Ridge had a 20-point lead in the second half but failed to hold on. Tonight, we are live at Powell High School on FM 92.7, prepradio.com, channel 15, and we're streaming live on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. Our sponsors for tonight's games are the Fox Insurance Group, Tennessee Bank of Oak Ridge, the Oak Ridge Utility District, Mortgage Investors Group, Mike Kelly with Betsy Coleman Realty, and Laura Lynn Green with State Farm Insurance. We appreciate our sponsors who have been with us all season long. We'd also like to thank Sandy Henry and Terry Lee for their continuing support as well. We'll be back to Powell for the tip-off of Oak Ridge and the Panthers following this 3-minute break.
It's our national anthem here from Powell High School, getting set to have the starting lineups here. Wildcats trying to go for the triple sweep here, Josh. Those things are rare and hard to come by, but we've done it several times this year, and all the Wildcats need to do is win the boys game because we've won the junior varsity ball game, we've won the girls game. Now it's time to win the varsity ball game.
Definitely hoping for the hat trick. So far, Grayson Strader is starting off the starting lineup for Oak Ridge. And we've got number 10, Brennan Scott. Number 11, Raekwon Watson.
Number 20, Caden Brightheart.
Number 20, Caden Brightheart.
And number 35, Cooper Williams.
And number 35, Cooper Williams will be your starting lineup for the Oak Ridge Wildcats.
Thanks a lot, Josh Frazier. Now we're about to have the starting lineups for the Powell High School Panthers. Starting for them will be Noah Brewer. He is a junior. He'll be playing the point guard position for them. Dylan Stooksbury, he's a sophomore. He's a guard. Also starting for them will be number 13 for them. That'll be Caleb Walker. He's a junior player. The fourth starter for them, number 23, Neeland Duggar. And the fifth starter, tall guy, that's number 24, Bryce Jarday. And we're about to get underway here. Panthers wearing their all-white jerseys with black and orange trim. The Wildcats wearing their Road Cardinals and gray. Oak Ridge and Powell have been playing since the 40s, and we're about to get set here. Mike Sheehan, I don't know if you've met Mike. I think you have. He was watching them back in the 40s when they were playing. As we're about to get set, we'll come back to that in a moment. Ball up controlled by and knocked out of bounds. It'll be a re-jump as the ball went sailing into the crowd across the gym from us. Grayson Strader jumping for the Wildcats. Noah Brewer jumping for the Panthers. Ball up controlled again by the Panthers, and he almost stepped out of bounds with it. He just slings it when he jumps it. Here comes Powell setting up their offense. Just underway here at Powell High School. Wildcats with Brightheart as they work the ball inside. Number 4, he'll turn, he'll spin, throw up a hook, good. 2-point bucket by Noah Brewer, and down the floor will come the Wildcats. 2-0 Powell. Raekwon Watson, the sophomore point, works the ball to Grayson Strader to Caden Brightheart. Brightheart, he had Grayson Strader easy for a layup. He's going to take it himself, and he got it blocked. Taken away by Grayson for a moment, saved on the floor by number 13, Caleb Walker. They work the ball for a three-pointer and a 5-point lead. They've got it. 5-point lead for them. Wildcats passed up what was going to be an easy shot as the Wildcats' Brendan Scott comes down the floor, and the ball's knocked out of bounds by Powell. Good start for the Panthers here. 5-0 is our score. The Wildcats back on offense here. 7:13 to play first quarter. Oak Ridge ball. Raekwon looks, fires. Up high pass to Brennan Scott, who saves it near the midcourt line. 5-0 Panthers. District 3 action here from Powell High School. Wildcats, Grayson Strader. He shoots a three from the corner. It is no good. Rebound by Big Cooper. Cooper Williams puts it up there. No good. Rebounded by Powell. Then they lose it out of bounds. Two Panthers fought one another, and that cat fight resulted in a turnover for the Panthers. Wildcats will have it underneath the goal, down 5-0. 6:57 to play. Wildcats working in Grayson Strader. Shot is no good. Gets his own rebound. He's fouled. Grayson will go to the free throw line for the Wildcats. So far, kind of a start like the girls' game. The Wildcats looking looking for shots, but just not falling early.
Right, and it seems Powell's playing well on the defensive side. They're not giving any easy shots to Oak Ridge as Grayson Strader throws up his first free throw, and it's nothing but net there as he'll go to shoot his second one here in just a second. But Oak Ridge, they've got to get something going. Otherwise, Powell can really start to take off in this first quarter. Grayson Strader shoots the second one off the rim. Powell comes back down with it and is heading down the court.
They'll set up their offense, leading Oak Ridge 5-1. Their basketball, they work for another three. Stooksbury's open, knocks another one down. Extend that defense here. The Wildcats are down 8-1. 6:35 to play in the first quarter. Here come the Wildcats down the floor, yet to get a field goal. We're almost a minute and a half in. Caden Brightheart with the basketball, thought about lobbing it down low. Works the ball to Caden, back around the right side. Here's a three on its way, good. 3-point shot for Raekwon Watson. Raekwon's just been playing such great basketball in the last several days, and he closes the gap to 4. 8-4 the score. With the basketball, here's Stooksbury again. They're number 24 for three, no good. Rebounded by Ray. Ray Ray to Caden Brightheart, can't control it, goes out of bounds. Try to push it up the floor. Wildcats want to run whenever they get the opportunity. That time Caden didn't see the ball coming his way. Powell basketball. Here it comes to number 13. That'll be Caleb Walker. Walker walks the ball across the midcourt line. To the left side it goes to Brewer. Brewer on the right elbow, drives in, spins, kicks it to the corner to number 24 for them. That'll be Jarday. Nearly a foul there by Ray Ray, saved by number 11. He backs it up to the top of the circle. Powell on top by 4, 8-4, 5:43 to play in the first period. With the basketball, Brewer launches a three, good. Their third three of the game. Coach Green is not happy, and he calls a timeout. 11-4 Powell. We'll take a break. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett. We'll be back to Powell in 30 seconds. Where it's been a three-point shooting show for the Panthers here in the opening moments of this ballgame. They lead Oak Ridge 11-4. Cooper Williams hands it out to Ray Ray at the midcourt line. Good defense being applied. The Wildcats. Ray Ray dribbles in, penetrates, lost the ball. Picked up by Powell. The Wildcats got to play some defense here. They've given up three-pointers in the first quarter, and they're down 11-4. They led by only one against Powell the last time we played. They ended up winning by about 20. Wildcats have got to step it up here. Defensively, they just continue to lead and get open shots as the Wildcats watch number 11 dribble in and back it up. 4:58 to play first quarter, 11-4. The Wildcats trailing. Powell with the basketball outside the three-point line. Ray Ray guarding. They work it out. Here's the fourth three of the night. It's good. Get open, and it's 14-4. 4 3-pointers. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. 4:39 to play here in the first period. Wildcats. The long winning streak over Powell, trying to get things down, and really another steal. Ball goes out of bounds, last touch by Powell. 4 3-pointers, Josh Frazier, against the Wildcats here in the first, not even 4 minutes of this game.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something about number 11. He is on fire. It's basically the boys' version of number 11 from the girls' game, hitting all these threes.
Caden really didn't have a great shot there, but he took it. Here comes Powell once again along the baseline. Cooper tries to slow him down. Wildcats down 14-4. Got my mic working now. Powell with the basketball. They've played almost 4 minutes. The Wildcats are down 10. With the basketball will come Dylan Stooksbury. Backs up to the midcourt circle. Guarded by Ray Ray. Comes off to the right. Backs it up once again to Brewer. Brewer holds it. Stops. Picks up his dribble. Holds it forever. Turning, spinning. Cooper dives for it. Steals it. Great play. Brennan Scott with the basketball. Great play by Cooper Williams. Brennan coast to coast with it. Throws the ball off the body of one of the Panthers out of bounds. We look a little ragged here, Josh.
Yeah, this is not the Oak Ridge team that I'm used to seeing. I mean, I've seen them be down early in the first quarter, but they've at least been playing well enough to get back into it. They've got to get something going on offense, and they've got to stop number 11 on Powell.
Marcus Peters for three. Good. They didn't guard him. Just left him sit there in the corner, and nobody even guarded him, and he drilled it. 7-point game. 14-7 the score. Marcus with his first 3 points of the game. 14-7. The Panthers in the lead. Here they come down the floor dribbling. Coast to coast with it. Number 1 goes in, shot block. Brennan's got it. Brennan Scott pushes it up the floor. To the right side it goes to Peters again. Drives the baseline. He got fouled. He got hammered from the backside. Here come the Panthers down the floor driving. Number 24. Baseline jumper is good. They knock it down with Bryce Jarday, and the Wildcats are down 16-7. Here's Marcus with the basketball. The Wildcats a little slow getting down the floor. Here comes Ray Ray to the hole. Layup fouled. They're opened up just a wide lane for Ray Ray to drive through, and the clock continues to run here. And Coach Green wanted to stop play because they continue to run the clock after the foul. Because Green doesn't like something like that. The official's going to come over. He says, I didn't see it. Nobody saw it. And let's see. He's going to come over to the official scorekeeper as the free throw is good by Raekwon Watson. 2:53 to play in the first quarter. Let's see if they put more time back on the clock. They're going to, let's see, call a little bit of a time. They're going to put 4 seconds on. I guess that's 4 seconds, enough. All the time they need, I guess. It wasn't much more than 4 seconds, surely.
But 4 seconds, it's enough for a shot and another point as Raekwon Watson shoots and makes that second free throw.
And the Wildcats are down 16-9. Back on defense they go. Dribbling outside, number 13 in the ball game. I hate this table. Have I told you, Josh? It's just too small. I have to use my knee as a table as well. Wildcats up 16-9. Powell throws the ball away. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball on their turnover. Oak Ridge trying to make a little bit of a comeback here. Got to do a better job guarding the three.
Absolutely. They've been on fire, Powell has, from the three-point line, especially number 11, Stooksbury. He just can't miss, but he also has been open on a lot of those threes, Dave. Oak Ridge brings the ball up. Raekwon over to Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters starts to drive, passes it to Schrader. Schrader back to Peters. Peters drives, back to Schrader. Schrader shoots and blocked.
Then Peters steals it right back, gives it to Grayson, turn, spin, no place to go. They're going to call it travel. Travel's going to be called against the Wildcats, and that's a turnover. Oak Ridge got it down where they wanted to get it, but they couldn't get the shots to fall, and then there's a massive turnover there. Powell with the basketball in front of their bench. They lead Oak Ridge 16-9. They'll drive in. Shot is on its way. What's the call? A blocking foul is going to be called against Marcus Peters. I think he was moving. I'll give him that. It'll be number 5 going to the line. That is Jaden Colon. He is a junior. Make sure. Colin, I think they just called him, so we'll call him that. 16-9 our score. 2:09 to play in the first period. Powell at the line. 2:09, the Wildcats trailing. Free throws up, good. Wildcats down 17-9 as we play in the first quarter here at Powell High School. Big district ball game on the road, side of this year's District 3 tournament. Back to the free throw line, Panthers. Toss, good. 9-point game, Wildcats trailing 18-9, 2:06 to play. Raekwon to Caden Brightheart, off the glass shot, no good. Caden struggling to get some points to go. Here come the Panthers down the floor. It was rushed just a bit. Panthers could increase their lead. It's already 18-9 the score. Panther basketball. Wildcats need to play a little defense here, get some transition. 5-second count was on. He had to give it up. Driving with it will come number 13. Walker flings it out to the top of the circle. Now they'll drive in. Here's the shot. No good. Tip back up. No good. Caden Brightheart on the rebound. Caden down the floor. Had Grayson early. Has him late. Layup. Good. He was fouled, but no call. That's a bucket for Grayson Schrader. 7-point Powell lead. 18-11 the score. A minute 22 to play in the first quarter. Wildcats finally got a transition bucket.
Yeah, and hopefully this is the start to a better shooting streak for Oak Ridge so they can get back in this game, get a little rhythm going, and make this a competitive game.
Powell with the basketball. Number 1, that's Connor Wheeler. 5-second count is on. He's held it forever. As they work the ball right side, over it goes to Colin. He lost the ball. Taken away by Brennan Scott, and then he fouls a shooter, and they'll shoot free throws. The Wildcats had it for a moment, and then he just ripped it away, but the ball was never securely in Brennan's hands. It'll be Powell at the line. That'll be the second team foul called against the Wildcats. Jaquez Thomas about to come in. Shamar Green as well. 55.5 seconds to play. First quarter. Free throws up, good. 3 for 3 at the line as Shamar and Thomas come in. Brightheart and Ray come out. 19-11 the score. The Wildcats trailing. You're exactly right. Sometimes in the first quarter we do fall behind. What usually is the second half. It was a 1-point game at halftime the last time we played them. Ended up beating them by about 20. Second free throw is good, but we got to play better. They're really taking the fight to Oak Ridge, and the Wildcats missing some bunnies as well. Wildcats down 9 again, 20-11 the score. Got to chip away here, 50 seconds to play. Grayson Schrader with it to Marcus Peters. Peters works the ball to Grayson in the left corner. Dribbles in, cannot penetrate all the way in. Backs it around to Quez. Quez thought about driving, goes inside to Shamar. No, he shoots himself. Good. Quez Thomas scores, and it's a 7-point game. 20-13 the score. Here come the Panthers down the floor. Moving right to left, dribbling the ball across the line. 25 seconds to play first quarter. Panther basketball. Caleb Walker got it by Brennan Scott. Top of the circle, it goes to Brewer. Brewer with his left hand holds it, dribbles, gives it out once again to number 13. Backs it up with 13 seconds to play. Brennan Scott harasses him, continuing to dribble. 5-second count is on. Shoved off with his left. They shoot a three. No good. Grayson on the rebound. 3, 2, 1. Marcus can't get a shot off as the first quarter comes to a close. We've played one quarter basketball here at Powell, and the Wildcats trail it 20-13. We'll be back to Powell High School following the 60-second timeout. David Clary back here along with Josh Frazier, Ethan Eubanks, along with Brian Bennett back in the studios. Ben George doing camera work for us as well. 7-point lead for the Panthers here, 20-13 our scores. We start play here in the second quarter. Josh, remind me during the tournament to bring my own table to Powell High School. This table is just so small.
Absolutely. I've got you, Dave. This, I feel like only one leg actually fits under it. Brennan Scott shoots, misses, grabs his own rebound.
Shamar's got it inside, goes in for a power move. Good. Great play by Shamar Green, and the Wildcats cut the lead to 5. 20-15 the score. Powell with the basketball. To work the ball in will be Stooksbury, and it comes to number 13. That'll be Walker. Caleb Walker got it by Marcus Peters. The Wildcats trail by 5. 20-15, 7 minutes, 24 seconds to play here in the second period. Powell with the basketball. They've got number 23 driving, shooting. Baseline jumper, no good. On the rebound, Marcus Peters. Marcus coming down the floor to Brendan Scott, who dribbles, who drives, goes in for the layup. Good. Brendan Scott off the glass, and the Wildcats trail by 3. 20-17 the score. The Wildcats making a little run here.
Yeah, and that's what I like to see. I really want to see Brendan Scott get involved in this game. He was totally quiet, guarded really well in the first quarter. Number 11 for Powell shoots from 3, misses. Oak Ridge coming back down the court.
With a chance to close the gap to 1 or tie it with a 3. Brendan Scott ties it with a 3. If he hits it, no good. On the rebound, Shamar had it. Jump ball is called. Another jump. Oak Ridge fans wanted a foul, but I think it's probably the good call there. It'll be Powell basketball. Marcus Peters comes out of the game, gave good minutes, so did Quez Thomas. Wildcats playing currently with Price Davis now for the first time. Brennan's going to check out. Shamar's still in. Grayson Strader, Raquan Watson in the ball game along with Caden Brightheart. Their basketball, the Wildcats pressuring. They get it in. Then it comes to number 24, Jarday. Jarday's going to bring the ball with Caden Brightheart guarding him in the rear court. 3-point game, 20-17 the score. Jarday drives in, pulls up and shoots a 3. No good. Really quick shot. Grayson Strader on the rebound. Strader pushes it up the floor to Ray Ray. Ray Ray outside the line. The Wildcats set up their offense. Ray Ray to the hole. Layup. No good. Rebound back to Ray Ray. Spinning back up. Good. Raquan Watson hits the shot, and Coach Gary Barnes has seen enough. The double-digit lead is down to 1. 20-19 the score. We'll take a break. We'll be back to Powell in 30 seconds. David Clary back here along with Josh Frazier, Ethan Eubanks, Ben George. Wildcats down a point now, 20-19. It was double digits, Josh Frazier.
Right, and then Brennan Scott started getting involved. He got some points up there. Raekwon got some points, got some rebounds, and they're right back in this game now.
Here comes Powell down the floor with the basketball. Will come Bryce Jardet. Swings the ball to his right over to Brewer. Noah Brewer going to drive in, hand it off in the corner for a three. It's on its way. Another miss. A rebound again by Oak Ridge. After hitting about their first 3 or 4 shots from three-point range, now they've missed since, and the Wildcats can take their first lead. If Bryce can hit this shot, he will not shoot it. Ray will drive in to the baseline, goes into, I think he's trying to get it to Price, but he just handed it off to a Powell Panther. Down the floor with the basketball will come Brewer. Brewer holds it, 5:33 to play. Second quarter, 20-19 Powell. Panther basketball, number 13 with it, that'll be Walker. Nilly is still there. Wildcats, hard defense, aggressively defending at the perimeter. Now driving with it will come Brewer. He spins in the paint, shoots, hits the rim, no good. On the rebound, Shamar Green. Wildcats down a point with the ball. Caden Breithart, no place to go. Don't force it, Caden. He works the ball back to Ray to Price for 3 in the lead. Short. Rebound, big Shamar Green wants to go right back up. He's tied up. They're going to call a jump ball, the alternate possession arrow to Oak Ridge. Wildcats getting Cooper Williams back in the ball game. It's a 1-point Powell lead, 20-19. They have led the entire way. Shamar gave good minutes for the Wildcats. Be Oak Ridge working in. Price thought about a three. Caden will dribble in. No place to go. Left side, three-pointer. From the corner, good! Ray Watson, and the Wildcats have the lead. 22-20 the score. 4:50 to play. The Wildcats settling down here, Josh Frazier.
Yeah, it seems that they've gotten back into their comfort zone, and they're hitting just about every shot that they put up, and they're playing good defense.
Ball. I think the Oak Ridge crowd thought it was last touch by the Panthers. Hard to see. It'll be Panther basketball underneath the goal. 4:38 to play second quarter. 22-20 Oak Ridge in the lead. Panthers trying to get it in. They don't. They throw it away. Intercepted. Caden Breithart. Breithart dribbling, driving, all the way to the hole. Oh, he didn't have a shot. Grayson had a better look at it. Didn't pass to him. He puts up a shot, and a blocking foul is going to be called. Caden's got to pass the ball there. I mean, it was not a really good look for him. Grayson was standing there underneath the goal. I love the way Caden Breithart plays, but he's got to pass it right there.
Absolutely. That's an easy shot for Grayson Strader. Easy 2 points. I mean, granted, he's at the free throw line now, but that could have been avoided and been on to the next set of points for Oak Ridge.
Grayson hits the free throw. 23-20 the score. 4:29 to play here in the second quarter. Wildcats with their first lead after trailing double digits. Toss. No good. And then Caden commits a foul. Hasn't been Caden's best half. You can see on his face, he's such a competitor. You can see on his face he is not too pleased with himself right now. But the good thing about Caden, he cares so much about it, he'll get that ship righted.
Absolutely. I've seen Caden Breithart take this team on. Raekwon Watson with his steal, layup. Grayson Strader with it, shoots it back up, scores 2 points for Oak Ridge.
And the Wildcat lead is 5 now, 25-20. The press is causing them all kinds of difficulties. Now they're going to get the ball across the line, got to sprint down the floor. Here's a three, good. Wildcats have got to sprint down the floor. Jardet hits the shot, back to a 2-point Wildcat lead. 25-23 the score, 3:55 to play in the second period. Wildcats playing with Grayson Strader. Raekwon Watson. Ray wanted to drive in. He does. Turning, spinning, shooting. It's way short. And the ball is knocked out by Powell. Wildcats have got to be a little more team-oriented here and think about passing a little bit as well.
Right, and there's one thing I've learned about Oak Ridge is they play as a team, and they're at their best. Breithart shoots the three, makes it.
And that's what we've been looking for. Now to get back on defense here. 5-point game again, 28-23. Like I said, Caden Breithart, he's a competitor, and he'll get his ship righted, and he did with that big bucket. Powell with the basketball. Number 24 for three. That's an illegal screen, but they didn't call it. Rebounded by Powell. Kicking it out for another three. It's up, brick. No good. Rebound, Grayson Strader to Ray, but the ball's knocked out of bounds by Oak Ridge. It was a foul. It was a moving screen they should have called against Powell. They did not. Oak Ridge on top by 5, 28-23. It'll be Powell with the basketball, 3:16 to play. They work it in. Shot, short. Rebound, that's Cooper. Cooper Williams of the Wildcats, and here they come down the floor up by 5. 28-23, 3:09 to play. Ray to the hole, and it's going to be a block, they call. That's another example of really, he's lucky. He's lucky right there because that could have gone either way. That guy was standing there forever. And that'll be a foul against Powell. That'll be their 4th team foul, and Ray will go to the free throw line. What had Ray done tonight?
Ray's had a phenomenal first half so far at 10 points, 11 now with that free throw.
Oak Ridge by 6, 29-23, their biggest lead of the night. 3:06 to play, first half, 29-23. Ray's second toss, good. Wildcats by 7, 30-23, 3:06 to play here in the second period. The Wildcats trailed after one quarter. And what was the score after one there, Josh?
Oak Ridge was down 13-20 to Powell after the first quarter.
Here's a 3 missed by the Panthers, rebounded by the Wildcats. Here comes Ray down the floor, dribbling, coast to coast. Stops, no place to go but shoot. Good. Ray, he got himself so far underneath the goal and there was nowhere to go. So, hey, I'll just shoot the ball, and he knocks it down.
Raekwon, Brennan Scott with the steal, comes up for the layup.
Dunk! Oh! He dunks it! He dunks it! He dunks
Brennan
it!
Scott with the dunk!
34-23 the score. I saw that coming a mile away. Josh, I'm sorry. I had to cut in there because we haven't seen a dunk in 2 years. And the Wildcat lead is 34-23. And the Wildcats, Cooper Williams, can't control the pass. Brennan is so pumped from his dunk, he threw a fastball down the floor. Another missed shot by Powell. Ray to Brennan Scott. You better not. Wow, he is so pumped. He's trying to get composed himself as the Wildcats have the lead. 34-23. Minute 53 to play in the second quarter. Wildcats in the lead by 11 now. Wow, finally.
Wow, Dave, that was absolutely amazing. First dunk I've seen all season, and it was a great one.
Here comes Caden Breithart going up. They're going to call a travel against him. Kind of leaned his body into it. Wildcats up 11 now, 34-23. Do the math. How much have we outscored them here in the second quarter? It's 1:38 to play the second quarter, 34-23 the score. Powell with the basketball. Big-time dunk by Brennan Scott. Big-time dunk. Here come the Panthers down the floor. Number 13 with it. That'll be Caleb Walker. Works the ball to Collin. Swings the ball around the left side. Panthers go back door. Spinning shot. No good. They have gone stone cold here in the second quarter. Marcus Peters on the rebound. Wildcats with 1:20 to play to Brennan Scott. 34-23. Here's big Cooper Williams turning, spinning, shooting, and scoring. Coach Barnes has seen a double-digit lead go by the wayside. The Wildcat crowd is in it. 36-23 the score. We'll hold it here, Josh. They were hot as a $2 pistol in the first quarter. Here in the second quarter, they can't hit anything, and the Wildcats doing everything right.
Yeah, I did the math like you asked, and Oak Ridge went on a 23-3 run so far in this second quarter to just absolutely take over this game and flip the story. And now Oak Ridge is basically dominating this game. And I got to say, again, Brennan Scott with that dunk, I think he just got hit with a flush of adrenaline after that. And he, just huge spark for Oak Ridge. And that's a great way to go into the second half.
Josh, I don't know if you noticed it, but when I saw him coming down the floor, I stood up. I don't know if you noticed that. I was on my feet knowing what might happen. We didn't get one dunk all year last year. The previous year, we probably had 70 dunks. I mean, we had a dunking machine 2 years ago, but all those guys graduated and all playing college ball right now. But finally, after 2 years, we get a dunk.
Yeah, I did see you stand up, Dave. I saw a lot of people in the crowd stand up as well, and I was frozen. I knew something big was happening, but I couldn't stand up. All I could do was just sit here and watch, and it was absolutely amazing. 36-23 the score. The Wildcats in the lead. Minute 10 to play, second quarter.
Wildcats playing with Brennan Scott, Raekwon Watson, Cooper Williams, Marcus Peters, and Grayson Strader. Powell with the basketball, steal by Ray Ray. Wildcats coming down the floor, left-handed to Marcus Peters, up for the shot, no good. Gives it back to Grayson Strader for the shot, good. Another putback bucket by the Wildcats, and a 15-point advantage now for Oak Ridge. I mean, the second quarter has been totally dominated. The Wildcats almost with another steal. Here's a quick shot from the elbow, good. That's a pretty shot. Nice shot by Jarday, and the Wildcat lead is 38-25. Lady Wildcats won, the junior varsity won. Coach Green says one shot here. 27.9 seconds to play in the first half. Marcus Peters into Cooper, oh boy. Tried to force it, Coach Green not happy at all because he wanted to go for the final shot. And then they're going to call something down the floor. It's going to be a foul against Oak Ridge. It's going to go against Grayson Strader. That'll be his first personal foul, team foul number 4, 16.7 seconds to play. Coach Green yelling out to his team, yelling at one individual. Powell ball, if they can get it in, they are going to have the ball knocked out by the Wildcats here. Oak Ridge on top, 38-25, and Marcus Peters has kind of come out of the ball game, and it'll be Oak Ridge's Caden Breithart back in. They'll substitute Noah Brewer. Wildcats were down double digits. They're up double digits now. Powell ball, trying to get it in. Pass does come in into number 23. That'll be Neelan Duggar. He drives against Cooper, and Cooper stops his progress. No place to go when the big guy's in front of you. Their basketball. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. There's a shot, no good. Ray Ray on the rebound with 2. With 1. Mid-quarter, no good as the first half comes to a close. Not a good first quarter, Josh Frazier. An outstanding second quarter for the Wildcats.
Absolutely. It's night and day with Oak Ridge in that second quarter. The adrenaline, the stops by Raekwon, the steals by Brennan Scott completely flipped the script. Powell, I think thought they were still on that hot streak of three-pointers as they shot a lot of threes in that second quarter, but nothing fell. They got a couple of shots, and Oak Ridge went on a huge run. I think a 23-point run to 3 for Powell, and this game is completely flipped from the beginning of the game.
We're going to take a break here. We're at halftime. The Lady Wildcats won. We'll recap their scoring in a bit. The guys are up by 13 at the half, 38-25. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett. We'll be back to Powell High School in 3 minutes. It was a tale of two quarters here. The Wildcats currently in the lead, 38-25. We're at halftime here. We just saw a great performance by the Powell dance team performing down here in front of us. Our next broadcast of Oak Ridge High School basketball will be coming up this coming Friday when the Wildcats entertain the West High Rebels in what is going to be a really big, huge ball game, especially on the boys' side. The Wildcats can't lose the tiebreaker to West. It's almost a must-win, really, for the Wildcats, because West would have the tiebreaker on Oak Ridge because they beat us a couple of weeks ago. So it's a really, really big ball game. Josh, I'll let you finish that here in a second. Why don't you go ahead and run down the scoring of both this game and the girls' win tonight?
All right, so far for the boys' basketball game, we've got Oak Ridge leading at the half, 38-25. We've got Jaquez Thomas with 2 points, Shamar Green with 2 points, Marcus Peters with 3 points, Grayson Strader finishing with 12 at the half, Brennan Scott behind a fantastic dunk finishing with 4 at the half, Raekwon Watson with 14, Caden Brightheart with 3, and Cooper Williams with 2 points. For the Powell Panthers, we have Noah Brewer with 2, Jaden Cologne with 4, Dylan Stooksbury with 9 off 3 3-point shots, Bryce Jardette with 10. And now to the girls' basketball game. They finished with a win, 63-39 over Powell. Demetria Strickland finished with 10 points, Zayana Stewart with 6, Ayana Porter finished with 6, Lindsey Cleveland with 9 points, Cannon Green finished with 4, and we have Bella Boone finishing with 10, and Jenna Johnson finishing with 18. Meanwhile, for the Lady Panthers, we have Krista Madison finishing with 7 points, Addison Smith finished with 11, Anna White finished with 15 off 5 3-pointers, Elena Schroeder finished with 3, Reese Rowland finished with 4, and again, the Lady Wildcats finished with the win, 63-39.
And it was their 10th straight win. So the Lady Wildcats maintained first place in the district, the only team in the district still undefeated. Guys trying to win their 17th game and go 6-1 in district play. We got a full half of basketball to be played. We're going to take a break one more time. When we come back, we'll have the second half tip-off. We'll have the tip-off. Somebody will get the ball. It'll be the Oak Ridge or Powell. Oak Ridge on top, 38-25. We'll be back to Powell High School in 3 minutes. Welcome back once again to Powell High School. The second half just underway. Powell has the ball first. Trailing Oak Ridge 38-25. They work it in for a shot. It's up, no good. Tipped and rebounded by Cooper Williams. Wildcats come out here in the second half with Caden Brighthart, Raekwon Watson, Grayson Strader, Brennan Scott, the dunking machine, and the three-point shooting machine. He missed that one, though. Rebounded by Powell. Wildcats in the lead, 38-25. With the basketball will come Jarday. Jarday swings the ball to his right. The Wildcats in their all Cardinal jerseys. If you're listening to us on the radio with gray trim, Panthers in their home whites with orange and black. They're in the paint, wanting to shoot. They get a baseline jumper. It's too strong, no good. Rebounded by Ray. Raekwon with the basketball. That shot was open. Here comes Oak Ridge's Brennan Scott. He wanted to shoot a three. Makes it a nice pass inside of Cooper. Cooper takes one dribble, goes in for the shot. Good. Cooper just muscled it up there. And the Wildcats are up by 15. Great play. Cooper's so big and strong. There was no way any of those guys down there for the Panthers were going to slow him down because he's just too big and strong.
Absolutely. He's kind of the man down there in the paint, and it's hard to beat him out when it comes down to being in the paint. So good job, Williams. Powell shoots a three and hits it. Number 24, Jarday.
And we're back to a 12-point game. The Wildcats have given up way too many threes in this one. Coach Green won't be happy about that, I can tell you. Here comes Grayson Strader working the ball to Caden Brighthart. Caden dribbles the paint all the way to the hole, layup, good. A great drive by Caden Brighthart. Just used his screens that were set on the inside, and the Wildcat lead is back to 14. 42-28 the score. Down the floor with the basketball once again will come the Panthers. Powell has hit 5 or 6 threes in the ball game, mostly in the first quarter, and they nailed one here in the third. 42-28, a 14-point lead. Good defense, Oak Ridge. That's a good play by Powell, though. They get a nice little cut inside and a great play by Duggar, and the Wildcat lead is 12. 42-30 the score. 5:45 to play here in the third period. Grayson Strader with it to Brennan Scott. Lobs it to Cooper, who gets an easy layup. Once again, just lobbed it over the top of Bryce Jarday, and the Wildcat lead is up to 14 again.
Yeah, again, Cooper Williams down in the paint, making it happen. Nice lob pass to Cooper Williams. Easy layup, hits the bucket. Now Powell shoots another three. Off the mark, hits the backboard. Oak Ridge comes back up with it. Brennan Scott bringing it up, driving into the paint, passes out to Raekwon Watson. Watson for the three. Powell comes back up the court, reeling off that three from Raekwon Watson, hoping to match it here. Number 13 brings it up, tries to put some moves on Strader, passes it to number 4. 4 back to 24 with the shot from the three and hits it.
And Coach Mars has called another timeout. Oak Ridge's lead is 14, 47-33. Why don't we take it with them again? I can tell my voice is getting hoarse from that dunk, I can tell you. 47-33 the score. Well, we'll just hold it right here. Lady Wildcats won their ball game. We were talking about football. If you just tuned in and, you've been under a rock, I guess, if you're an Oak Ridge person, we hired a new football coach today. His name is Derek Rang. He actually coached here at Powell for 1 year. He was a head coach here for a year. He's coached at West with Coach Cummings years ago as an assistant coach. He's also coached at Gatlinburg-Pittman as the head coach. He was the head coach at Dresden where he won a state championship. He was the head coach at Lewis County, and he still is until, I guess, today when he told his team today at about 1:45 that he was coming to Oak Ridge to become the head coach of the Wildcats.
Yeah, and it's a great opportunity. I've learned that Oak Ridge has a rich history of great football teams. So the standards are high, but this guy seems to win wherever he goes. So hopefully he can bring that winning mentality to Oak Ridge again.
Here comes Caden Brighthart. Got a great screen from Cooper Williams. Cooper just sealed off the entire baseline. There was no way they could get through him.
Yeah, he just seems to own the paint right now, especially here in the third quarter. Nobody's going to take that away from him. Number 24 shoots for Powell, misses.
Brennan Scott has the rebound. Here come the Wildcats quickly down the floor. Brennan wanted to go coast to coast, lost the handle, goes into Cooper, and Cooper is going to be fouled on the floor. Wildcat lead is up to 16 again, 49-33. If you just tuned in and you think Oak Ridge has dominated the ballgame, Josh, tell them what happened in the first quarter.
The first quarter was all Powell, nothing but threes. In fact, I think there's about 3 or 4 threes made on Powell's side. Oak Ridge struggling to get a rhythm. Garden Brightheart shoots a layup, makes it. But that second quarter, Dave, absolutely totally different.
Total domination by the Wildcats in the second quarter. Now they're up by 18 after being down double digits in the first quarter. 3:55 to play third quarter. Appreciate you watching or listening to our broadcast today. We hope you. Here's Cooper with his steal. This doesn't even look like the same team we saw come out of the gate here. They just continue to turn the ball over as Ray Ray's given a three, and it's good. 3-point shot, and the route is on. Wildcats are now up 21 points.
Well, you know, this isn't the first time that I've seen Oak Ridge do this, come out a little slow in the first quarter, but then they get settled in about midway through or early in the second quarter, and then they just take off in the third and fourth, and that seems to be exactly what they're doing right here.
Powell hasn't had a winning basketball season since the 2017-2018 season when they beat Oak Ridge in the district championship game, and they are struggling right now with a losing record. Here come the Wildcats down the floor up by 21. Playing with Brennan Scott, Grayson Strader, Raekwon Watson who gets another layup. Good. Ray is just playing outstanding basketball. He has really played well. Coach Barnes, things were going good for Coach Barnes in the first quarter, but boy, they have come down here. Let me get Ethan in here real quick. Ethan, you remember the basketball program. Have you seen Ray play any better than he's playing right now?
I'd say probably a few times in AAU when it was like the top championship game, because there was no structure really, so he really didn't have to
you're a sophomore, obviously, so you're in his class, so you've played with him probably all the way up, I would assume.
Yeah.
What's it going to take for you to get a chance to be out there and performing?
I don't know, probably a little bit more work on the court instead of the field, but I like football more really. So
you're a basketball player and a football player. Do you have a preference?
Probably football. I like football a lot more.
What is it about football you like best?
Just pretty much I like the contact, be able to hit people if I want to.
What has made you decide to be a part of our crew here? I appreciate you 100% greatly.
I just really enjoy it. I enjoy filming.
Well, we thank you. Thank you a lot. That's Ethan Eubanks, sophomore member of the Oak Ridge football. He's a tight end, I hope. Again, he got moved to the line away from tight end, but maybe he'll be a tight end when Coach Rang comes to town here. 56-33 the score. Oak Ridge on top by 23 points. It'll be Powell with the basketball. We've both interviewed now Ethan now.
Yeah, absolutely. And great interviewee. Hopefully he gets back to tight end. But back to the game. Powell's coming up, coast to coast.
Oh! 4. They're going to call a block. I think he did catch him on the wrist. Cooper blocked the shot, but I think he slammed him in the wrist. Oak Ridge is up 23 points, 56-33 with 2:50 to play here in the third quarter. Into the free throw line will go Noah Brewer. It's been all Powell in the first quarter, all Oak Ridge since. And, I'm telling you, Coach Barnes is a really good basketball coach for the Powell Panthers. And for him to have losing seasons, they haven't had a winning season since 2017 and 18. You've seen how good their football program is. They used to be that good in basketball, but here as of late, unfortunately, their best basketball player, Aiden Green, who is maybe their best receiver, going to play Division I football, he decided not to play, and he was their best basketball player. You can't, obviously graduation happens every year, but when your best players decide not to play to focus on football, you feel sorry for him as Cooper goes up for the shot and he's fouled. Aiden Green, he would be a big difference maker for the Powell Panthers.
Absolutely, but, the best coaches, they can take that change in graduation and team players wanting to focus on a different sport, and they can make it work and still be in it. So we've got Cooper Williams taking his first free throw, shoots it, makes it, and he'll shoot his second one here in just a second.
And it's a 23-point lead for the Wildcats here, 57-34. I'll be honest with you, Josh. In the first quarter, I was a little concerned, honestly, about the Wildcats. But like you said, we've seen them do it before, fall behind early and just come racing back as both tosses are good. And Cooper comes out of the ball game. Marcus Peters comes back in. I'm going to let you do play-by-play for the next 2 minutes and 33 seconds. Go for it.
Sounds good. Powell looking to inbound it. Inbounds it to number 13, Caleb Walker. Walker brings it up the court, facing off against Marcus Peters. Puts some moves on Peters, tries to drive in the lane. Shot up, blocked. Grayson Schrader pulls it down, hands it off to Brennan Scott. He brings it up, puts some moves on number 5 for Powell. And it looks like we've got a jump ball in favor of Oak Ridge. All right, Oak Ridge set to inbound. Number 1, Lucas. Inbounds to Strader. Strader to Marcus Peters down in the paint. Peters up, misses, brought back down, stolen by Marcus Peters. And we've got a foul, and Marcus Peters looks like he may be down, or at least hobbled a little bit. But he gets back up and high-fives the other players. And
People are upset. He put his arm behind his head to call. He was going to call a charge, but then he decided it was a block. He put his hand behind his head and was going to call a charge, and then brought it back down and called a block. That's why the Powell fans are mad.
Marcus Peters, first shot up and in. Easy points there for Marcus Peters as he gets ready to attempt his second free throw. It's up and it's in. 2 points for Marcus Peters. It's now 60-34 with 2 minutes left in the game, or in the third quarter, excuse me. Powell inbounds. Back to number 1, Wheeler. Wheeler brings it up. Tries to drive, is stopped. Drives again. Shoots layup up and misses. Powell gets it back. Drives, another layup, shoots and scores. That's number 5 for Powell, Jaden Colon. Oak Ridge bringing it up. Brendan Scott's got it, brings it to the top of the key. Passes it off back into number 1, Lucas, and he's blocked. Out of bounds on Powell. It'll be Oak Ridge ball. Lucas set to inbound. Grayson Schrader comes out of the ball game. Lucas inbounds to Thomas. Thomas over to Peters. Peters looking for somewhere to go. Back over to Brennan Scott. Brennan Scott drives a little bit. Drives some more. Shoots. And it's off the rim. Misses. Powell rebounds the ball. Brings it back up. Looking to set up their offense. Number 4's got it. Passes it over to number 1. Wheeler. Wheeler over to 13, Walker. Walker trying to set up the offense, taking his time. Back over to number 4, Noah Brewer. Brewer back to Wheeler. Wheeler back to number 11. Shoots off the rim, bounces off. Oak Ridge has the ball. Well, now they're fighting for the ball. And it looks like we've got a timeout. Oak Ridge, Coach Green calls it. And they're going to try and get reset here.
Josh, what happened earlier in the girls' game? Lady Wildcats win the ball game and win their 10th straight game.
Yes, they won their 10th straight game, won the ball game, and essentially eliminated Powell from any chance of a district championship. And I believe it set them up for at least the number 2 seed, right?
If they win on Friday against West, they can finish no worse than second. So that'll give them the bye at the district tournament and an automatic berth to the region. So, and you know, West, as we saw them play a couple weeks ago, they're not the greatest team. So you would feel Lady Wildcats are in good shape for that automatic bid to the region tournament.
Absolutely, they're in great shape, which is really saying something, and give credit to the coaches and to the players because they struggled at the beginning of the year. They were close in a lot of the games. Powell steals the ball, shoots, easy 2 off a layup. Oak Ridge gets it back. To Shamar, up and in, 2 points for Shamar. Powell coming back up the court. Not looking for any fast transition points. sets it up, sets up a screen. We got number 13, Walker. Walker drives, passes it off to number 11, Stooksbury. Stooksbury to Wheeler. Wheeler back out to number 11, misses from the three-point line. Oak Ridge comes back up.
Oh, my gosh.
And we've got a turnover. Powell's got the ball back. And they shoot a long three, misses, and that's the end of the third quarter. Oak Ridge is up 62-38. And let's see if they can keep this streak up and finish off the Powell Panthers in the fourth quarter.
Timeout is asked for because the quarter has come to a close. As Josh said, 62-38 Wildcats. We'll be back to Powell High School in 60 seconds. Threw you right in it. What are you smiling about? We'll go back once again to the Powell High School gym. The Wildcats on top, 62-38. The Wildcats playing currently with Shamar Green, Quez Thomas, Price Davis, Marcus Peters, Connor Cummings. Well, the basketball will come Powell as we start playing the fourth and final quarter. With the basketball for them will become number 1. That'll be Wheeler. He works the ball out for a 3. It's on its way, no good. Rebound, Powell. Coming down with the board, number 13. Back to the top, it goes to Wheeler. Wheeler against Quest, drives in, throws up a 6-footer, goes about 5. No good. Price on the rebound. Price Davis coming down the court, coast to coast, blows away his defender and scores. Price Davis with an easy bucket. And the Wildcat lead is 64-38, and then they're going to call a foul against Price Davis. Price just out-hustled the Powell Panthers down the floor that time.
Well, that seems to be one of the ongoing themes with both the Lady Wildcats and the boys basketball team. They hustle. They hustle on every single play. They always fight. It's never going to be easy for the other team to score points at will. So, not really surprised there. It seems like that's what they're teaching here at Oak Ridge is the hustle.
Powell with the basketball. I would agree. Coach Green would love to hear you say that because that's what he does preach a great deal as the ball is knocked out of bounds by, they say, the Panthers. It'll be Powell turning the ball over to Oak Ridge. But all Oak Ridge so far, since the first quarter, we've talked about that several times. It's just been a great display as the Wildcats turn the ball over once again. Powell with a chance to shoot a 3. They're not going to take that shot. They're going to work the ball down the floor and miss another one. Down the floor once again, and it's going to be a personal foul. Josh, take that just for a second.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just realized my mic was off earlier, but I was just trying to explain to everybody that the ongoing theme here is that both these coaches for the Lady Wildcats and the boys basketball team, it's clear they teach hustle as their main component for their game because they're hustling everywhere they go and on every single play.
Oak Ridge basketball leading 64-38. Here's Connor Cummings driving in. Shot is on its way, no good. Shamar on the rebound, good. Shamar Green scores, and the Wildcat lead is 28 points over Powell. They had a double-digit lead on the Wildcats in the first quarter, but Powell just hasn't been able to keep up with the Wildcats. One of the reasons you sometimes hear our mics go off and on, I'll explain that. When we do a stream is another turnover by the Panthers, taken away by Quez Thomas. Quez to the hole, and he's fouled. Personal foul is going to go against Dylan Stooksbury. The reason sometimes we turn off our mics is because on the YouTube stream, if YouTube hears a copyrighted song, they shut it down. So we turn off the mics. And we also turn off the mics just in case the always talking Ethan Eubanks is saying something he shouldn't say. 6:11 to play in the ball game, 67-38 the score. It'll be the Wildcats at the free throw line with Quez Thomas. What has Quez done tonight here, Josh, is they're substituting in mass. The Wildcats substituted a while ago. It'll be Powell getting all kinds of new players in, including Noah Lakin in the ball game. Number 3's in, Parker Blankenship. That's an appropriate name today as Quez knocks down the free throw. 30-point lead. We're up by 30 here, Josh. We were down double digits.
Yeah, completely different story after the first quarter. Oak Ridge got settled in. They started hitting some shots, some high percentage shots, got some steals, turnovers, and it's just been all Oak Ridge ever since in that second quarter.
Cameron McCullough is in the ball game as well. He for the Wildcats. So Oak Ridge playing, let's see, with sophomores Cameron McCullough and Shamar Green. Juniors Quez Thomas and Connor Cummings and Price Davis. So we got 2 sophomores and 2 juniors in the ball game for the Wildcats. Powell trailing by 30, 68-38, 5:40 to play in the ball game. We hope you enjoyed listening to Coach Gaddis between ball games. If you want to watch the YouTube stream, it's on our YouTube Prep Radio channel. You can listen to that interview that he did with Coach Gaddis. 68-38 the score. Powell with the basketball. The only starter still in the ballgame is Colin, or I've called it several different ways. I keep trying to listen to the public address announcer and how he's pronouncing it. As Powell has the basketball to number 2. That'll be, let's see, on the roster, that is Deuce Rogers. He turns the ball over. The Wildcats come down the floor, and then Quez can't get it. Back the other way will come the Panthers. 30-point game. That's got to be they're going to call a block. Price Davis wanted to take a charge, but it is a blocking foul. 5:07 to play. What a big day in Oak Ridge sports. You're going to get a triple sweep over Powell, and you get a brand-new football coach.
Yeah, it's been quite a great day for Oak Ridge. And not to mention this hat trick as far as the wins against Powell. They're not even close as far as score either, so even better for Oak Ridge.
Here comes Cameron McCullough down the floor to Quez. Quez for 3 on its way, no good. Rebound, Powell. Panther basketball. Here they come, moving left to right. Number 10 with the basketball. Dribbling with it will come Noah Lakin against Cameron McCullough. Can't drive past him. Ball deflected and taken away by Oak Ridge. Connor Cummings with an opportunity for a layup. Left-handed, good. Connor Cummings off the glass, and Connor has his first 2 points. The 70-38, the Wildcats in the lead. 4.5 minutes to play. It's good to see different Wildcats getting a chance to play and score.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're getting a good amount of minutes for all these players too. So great reps. The starters, they did their job. They took this as Oak Ridge takes the ball back. Bryce Davis hits the layup for 2 points. And Powell comes back up with the ball.
4 minutes to play in the ball game, 72-38. We also saw our first dunk since Milloway, Stafford, Shanklin, and those guys. Here's another steal by Oak Ridge. Boy, Powell's younger guys having trouble just holding on to the basketball. And the Wildcats come down the floor with Cameron McCullough. Cameron dribbles right. Connor Cummings for 3. It's on its way. No good. Rebounded by Shamar. Back up. Good. Shamar Green scores. And the Wildcats lead 74-38 over Powell.
Yeah, these guys are getting great reps, good minutes, and it's just going to benefit them. As Powell shoots a layup and makes it, Oak Ridge will bring it back up the court, but this is going to be great, especially going into next year for these guys.
That guy's name is Deuce Rogers for Powell. He's not on our roster. Here's a turnover. Powell's going to get a layup opportunity. Good. Almost dunked it, but did not. 74-42 Wildcats, 3:06 to play. Quez dribbles in. He walks for the basketball, I think. Or is it a foul underneath? I think they're actually going to call a foul away from the ball against Shamar Green. That'll be the 5th team foul against the Wildcats. Oak Ridge on top, 74-42. Oak Ridge about to beat Powell, I believe, for the 10th straight time. That's unheard of. Like I said, Powell has not had a winning season since the 2017-18 season. That's the last time Oak Ridge lost to Powell. Here's another missed shot by the Panthers. Wildcats coming down the floor. Quez Thomas with it, 2:28 to play. Quez all the way to the hole. Good. You're not going to guard me. I'm going to score on you. And they did. And the Wildcats lead is 76-42. We got a running clock here, Josh.
Absolutely. It just seems like almost like Powell's will to win this game is just non-existent anymore, and Oak Ridge is pretty much doing whatever they want right now.
One thing I want to talk about here before we go off the air, and I'll continue to jump in with play-by-play, but the West ball game this Friday is going to be very crucial. There's a missed shot rebounded by Connor Cummings. Wildcats Price Davis layup, right-handed off the glass, no good. Rebound Powell, and they're going to call a foul against Quez. The game is of importance because Oak Ridge, although they were up 20, if you remember in that ball game at West, they lost a district game. The first district loss the Wildcats had suffered in 58 straight district games. Because of that, we have a three-way tie for first, Carnes, Oak Ridge, and West. We've beaten Carnes head-to-head. We play West on Friday, so we hope to have a big crowd Friday night. West, if we don't want them to have the tiebreaker on us with head-to-head play. 2 wins. Got to beat them on Friday.
Of course not. We definitely don't want that tiebreaker, and I can tell you right now, this basketball team, Powell shoots a three and hits it, but back to this basketball team, they're definitely looking for some revenge, and we could definitely use the full crowd for this game against West.
Connor Cummings misfires on a three. The Wildcat lead is 31 points, 76-45. 48 seconds to play. Deflection by Price Davis out of bounds. Derek Ring was hired today as the head coach of the football team. Coach Green, head coach for 13 years of the Wildcat basketball team, will be up to speak to me after the ball game. A near steal by Connor. Good defense by Connor Cummings. Powell shoots another three. It's up. It's good. 3-point shot by Caleb Hurd. His second three in the last few minutes. And Oak Ridge's lead is 76-48. And the Wildcats are just going to play out the stream. 18 seconds to play. The Wildcats have won this ball game by a final score of 76-48 as the final 10 seconds tick down and off the clock. The Wildcats have beaten Powell for the 10th consecutive time, and Powell's last win came against Oak Ridge in 2018. It did not come here tonight. 76-48. So the triple sweep for the Wildcats here tonight at Powell High School. Josh Frazier, your thoughts on the big win for the Wildcats?
Big game. Obviously, all three of these games, Powell came out on absolute fire in that first quarter, and then after that, it was all Oak Ridge all the way to the end, and they just absolutely dominated. We had an iconic dunk from Brennan Scott, which really just, I feel like that was the breaking point for Powell in this game. They did fight a little bit, but after that, it was pretty much, we kind of knew where this game was going to end up going after that. So.
And the Wildcats win all three ball games. We're going to take a break. We'll tabulate the final scoring. Coach Green will come up here to join us. Wildcats win it. We'll be back to Powell in 3 minutes.
Josh Frazier back here at Powell Panther Arena, where we're about to go over the stats and the final scores for both the varsity girls basketball team and boys basketball team. Starting with the Lady Wildcats, they finished off the Powell Panthers 63-39, and we finished with Demetria Strickland with 10 points. Zayana Stewart finished with 6, Ayana Porter with 6, Lindsay Cleveland with 9 points, Cannon Green finished with 4, Bella Boone with 10, and Jenna Johnson finished with 18 points. And then for the Lady Panthers, Krista Madison finished with 7 points, Addison Smith with 11, Anna White finished with 15 behind 5 3-pointers, Elena Schroeder finished with 3, and Reese Rowland finished with 4. And for the boys Wildcats team, they ended up beating the Powell Panthers 76-48. Jaquez Thomas finished with 6, Price Davis with 4, Shamar Green finished with 8, Marcus Peters finished with 5, Grayson Strader finished with 12, Brennan Scott with 4, Raekwon Watson finished with a whopping 22 points in this game. Connor Cummings finished with 2 points, Caden Brighthart with 9, and Cooper Williams with 8. For the boys Panthers team, we had Noah Brewer finish with 3, Jaden Cologne with 8, Dylan Stooksbury with 9, Caleb Hurd with 6, Neelan Duggar with 2, Bryce Jardette with 16, and Rogers finished with 4 points there at the end of the game.
Head coach of the Wildcats. Coach, I mean, before I talk about just winning, that's the first time since Jonathan Milloway dunked one at the state tournament, I think, that I have seen an Oak Ridge Wildcat dunk in a ball game. We had absolutely no dunks a year ago.
Yeah.
That's not important to you, I know, but it sure got the crowd going, and it was kind of a momentum shifter. Well, by that time, I think we had already shifted. I'll come back and talk about the serious stuff here.
Yeah. I think it got everybody going. I think it's kind of like making shots. You make a shot, everybody kind of gets a little bit more energy on the defensive end. But that, I mean, even our coach is like, oh no, wow, what was it's kind of he can dunk obviously, but his ankle, I'm not really sure if it's 100% yet, but obviously it was. But yeah, it was good to see him throw one down. I may give him a little bit of comment. I'm glad he made it, as a coach. But yeah, I'm glad to see him get one.
Well, let's talk about the first quarter. The first quarter, I mean, they were on fire. They came out here, and I don't, obviously you've scouted them, you've watched them, we played them already, but man, they were just dropping in threes.
Yeah, and even going back to the first game, we played them, it's been a while ago. I mean, this is early December, I think.
December 6th, I think.
And we were up 1.5 there at our place. It's 30-29. End up winning by 10, but it was a 6 or 7 point game with 3 or 4 minutes to go. Mm-hmm. And they had their number 4 didn't play. But they can shoot it. 24 had 8 threes. I don't know how you pronounce his last name.
Jarday, I believe.
Jarday. He had 8 threes on Friday against West. So we knew he had to guard him. 13 hurt us at our place. What's his name? 13. Anyway, but so I mean, the number 11 made 3 threes. I mean, they just they every open shot they got the first quarter they made. One of them was on press. We got it in the scramble. They found a guy over there and he made it. I think one of them we overhelped and gave up another one, and again 24 got loose, and that was really, I thought the only way they were going to beat us if we kept giving up open looks. And after the first quarter, we pretty much shut them down. They had 5 points in the second quarter. I think they had 18 after. They had 38 points with about 4 minutes to go in a game, so we held them to 18. So I thought we did. Obviously a lot better job. Defensively of taking those away. And, I've said all the last couple of days, I mean, they're better than their record states. I mean, they got some guys that can shoot it. But yeah, I mean, I thought overall, just kind of looking at the stat sheet, we had good balancing. I thought, and again, Ray, followed it up with 2 really good games. And, so now I expect that from him every game. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's the second game in a row he's played really well. I think, again, I think everybody contributed in some way. We're looking at the score sheet here. We have the guy, Quez had 6, Price had 4, Shamar had 8, Marcus had 5. I think y'all probably went through this. Caden had 9. Everybody, for the most part, it got him well. I think we had one that didn't score, but had a great balance. and I thought we, after that first quarter played pretty good.
Yeah, I thought so too. I mean, you started rebounding. Cooper, when he was in the ballgame, he not as effective in the first quarter, but in the second and the rest of the ballgame, he is so big and strong. He just shuts off the baseline. He pulls down rebounds. He also scrambled and got a loose ball on the floor, which you don't see very often.
50-50 balls. And, him, I've said it all along, him and Shamar have a bright future. I mean, they're both going to be really good players for us, obviously just being sophomores. It's tough with having, not having Bryson in there. The positive for us is they're getting more minutes, which is going to help them. But that gives us, like tonight, I mean, Powell, especially when number 4 came out, they basically were playing 5 guards. We actually tried to get it in there to Cooper some, and we haven't done that a ton this year. I felt like, when we had Millway, we did a lot more play calls to get it in. We did that a little bit more tonight, even though we turned it over a couple times. But again, both those guys are going to have bright futures for us, Shamar and Cooper.
Yeah, most definitely. And one thing I've noticed about Shamar, at first he looked scared when in games. He doesn't look scared anymore. He looks very comfortable.
He's even the JV game he played. I wasn't here, but the guys said he played well. They're gradually getting better, and that's kind of what it takes. Especially the sophomore year. I said every year the sophomore year is the toughest year in our program, just because again they're playing varsity ball. If they're playing varsity some, is just to keep grinding and just try to get better every day. And Shamar is a prime example of that, of where he's come when he started his freshman year to right now. If he keeps making those strides, him and Cooper as well, they'll have they're going to have a good career.
I thought Caden was off a little bit of his game in the first part of the game, but he does other things well for you guys.
He does, and he's going to take the toughest assignment on their best player each night, and that's you got to be in good condition to do what he does, and I think he had 24, not the last game. What did he have? He had 24, maybe the last game or the game before.
He was a Campbell County game.
Campbell game. I mean, we've got that's one of the reasons we've had some success. So we've got different guys that can lead us. As far as in scoring and those type of things. I can't mention enough about Grayson, how hard he plays. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looked like he had 7 rebounds. Cooper had 4 or 5. Shamar had. So I mean, all of them contributed in some way. And again, Brennan, Brennan's case, he's getting a lot of attention, but that's allowed us to drive the ball a little bit because they're, not been able to help off him some. So, but a good win. This is always a tough place to play. Coach Barnes does a good job with his team, and I'm glad to see us respond after the first quarter.
Really big ball game, and I know you don't talk to your team about the standings, but it is a really big ball game for you on Friday. You cannot let West have the tiebreaker on you in the district standings. They, you had won 58 straight games in the district and then lost to West.
Oh, wow.
And, you've had a couple of those. So right now it's a 3-way tie, really, because we've beaten Carnes, they beat us, and Carnes beat West. So it's all 3, and obviously 3 more games to go. But this West one is a really big game this coming Friday.
Yeah, and the coach talk in me would say, it's the biggest one because it's the next one. But, and I'll probably, this may sound odd, but, we really – our guys kind of know without me saying, hey, we got, it's a big game, and they know. So we won't talk a lot about that. I mean, we'll prepare. We got to get ready. All I got to say is, hey, we blew a 20-point lead and gave them a win. Let's be ready to roll. That's really the motivation for me is like obviously, they made plays. I don't want to take anything away from them, but you're up 20 halfway through the third quarter. You should win the game. So, but again, it's a good team. We've got to, that's the team that was over here Friday that was, won about like we did. They ended up being a 14-point game, but they were up like 25 at halftime. So West has got a good team, and we'll have to. They're a little bit unique in how they guard in their man. They kind of really overload your side, on the high side and almost give you some drives. Brennan didn't play that last game, which kind of, was a little bit discombobulated. It's not an excuse. Hopefully that'll open some stuff up for us. We'll see. But again, it's a good team. We got to get ready. We got to get ready to go. And again, the next 2 days of preparation is going to be the key.
Coach, you have a new faculty member that's going to be joining the staff here pretty soon. New football coach, big day, big exciting day. You get a triple sweep at Powell, which is tough, and then you get a new football coach.
Yeah, I don't know much. I've talked to Coach Gaddis and Coach Dr. Hawkins a little bit. I guess the doctor, maybe not yet, but he's getting ready to be. A little bit earlier today. Didn't get a lot of information. I just kind of read really what I saw on social media because they've kept it pretty high. You know how it is around here. It's like, you don't get any information
right.
from nobody. But obviously, if they've hired him and for the head coach position, he's an excellent coach. And if he's watching this, we'll look forward to meeting you, Coach. And it's a great place, and he'll got an opportunity to do some good things. They love football, and I think you got a chance to talk to Coach Gaddis. What did he say?
He's all about it. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
The fans come out to the gym not only for the basketball game. They're going to introduce him Friday night at the ball game. So
and I think Coach Gaddis was talking. We have shoot around right after school on Friday. I think they're going to the players are going to be able to meet him. So I'm going to let our guys go up there real quick and just meet him before they start, so we can get down and have a shoot around. I'll go up there and hopefully get to meet him too. So yeah, it's an exciting time. I mean, it's. I know a lot of community gets a little bit impatient, wondering when they're going to hire somebody. Everybody. I'm the same way as far as that, but yeah. So we'll see. I mean, he's obviously got a good resume. He's won He's won a state championship. I was kind of impressed with the USA Today Coach of the Year. I thought that was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But the thing I think that caught my attention was he was a player for Coach Quarles at Maryville, who obviously is probably
won 3 state championships too
as a player, and and he's had success everywhere he's coached. So. So I think he's a proven winner, and he'll do a good job.
Final comments about today's win.
Good win. I think anytime you come up here to Powell, we always say it. This is my 13th year here. We've had some battles over here. And we've it's a good road win. Every time you play a league game, you're playing for a championship, and it's good. It's good to get one on the road. Next one will be just as important, and we'll have to. We just got, again, I know it sounds like coach talk, but we got to continue to get better. There's still some things we got to clean up, and it's crazy, talking beginning of the year, trying to get ready to be the best, playing your best come postseason. Well, it's right here. I mean, we're 2.5, 3 weeks away. My son and then Jefferson started their postseason tonight. They won, and, so the middle school postseason's already started. So it's right around the corner, probably my favorite time of the year, and hopefully we can, continue to get better and, be playing our best here. Keep playing our best each game, but, hopefully playing our best when we tip it up in district tournament.
Coach, thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Thanks, David. Let's pack it out on. Let's welcome Coach Ring. Let's pack it out.
Most definitely.
On Friday. Got a good West team that's coming, and should be a good basketball game, and I get a chance to welcome Coach Ring to Oak Ridge.
Have a good day, and we'll maybe see you tomorrow on TV.
Yeah.
Or when does Jefferson play again? I don't want to take.
No, it's Thursday.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
so we'll see you on the TV tomorrow. It's Coach Aaron Green, the Wildcats victorious here tonight at Powell High School, a triple sweep. The junior varsity wins 70-65. The girls win after trailing. They came from behind and win the ballgame, and the guys win as well. Josh, any final comments? We'll get Ben in here too. We'll get some final comments from both of you guys.
Overall, great play from the girls team, from the boys team, especially in the boys basketball game. Just seemed to be total domination. Let's hope that they can continue this into the West game and set themselves up for success when it comes to the district championships and tournaments and playoffs and everything. So overall, great day for Oak Ridge.
And, just to elaborate on what Josh said, great performance by the junior varsity team. Girls team playing physical and playing as fast as they normally do, offensively and defensively, just executing on all two sides of the basketball. And then boys not really starting off as hot as they normally have in district play in the first half of this game, but going off on the second half and just dominating completely. So another great performance by the Oak Ridge Wildcats, boys and girls, and look forward to next game on Friday against West.
That about does it. I think the cops are about to get us out of here. For Ben George, Josh Frazier, Brian Bennett back at the station, and Ethan Eubanks, who helped us out, this is David Clary. Until Friday when the Wildcats take on West, so long, everybody.